The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 406. We recorded on October 19th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus and Mayo. The next Jesus Rocks on today. I'm joined by my friend from Little Ohio, the Mayo, Steve Williams, back. Welcome back, Steve. Welcome.
Hey, Jesus, how's it going?
It's hard to get the excitement when we already did this whole thing once, you know? Like, it's like, oh, we did this whole thing already once.
I know, normally I blame this on Gunny, but since Gunny's not here, I guess somebody's got to be the fall guy over here, so.
I still blame Gunny for not being here. It's his fault.
It is his fault, because...
It is. He fucked it up. I know he's over there. He just, somehow he sabotaged us. I know he did it. It was all him. He
did like some remote PC access stuff and changing my recording settings. Yeah,
he's over there fucking with your PC while you're recording.
I knew I should have given him permission to log in to see some of my stuff.
Yeah, you know you shouldn't have. Now you're fucked. He got his son to hack into your shit. Because you know Gunny won't know how to figure that out, but his son might be able to.
Right.
Anyways, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's October the 19th. 2022, beautiful October day here in Oregon and over there in Ohio and California, where Gunny is. The weather is pretty nice too, I think. I'm going to assume.
Yeah, I was actually on the phone with him just the other day when I was heading to work, and he was kind of talking about the weather, and he did some, I think he put some epoxy down in the new house, like in the garage. But he was kind of talking about the weather, and he was talking about how the trees were starting to change a little bit there. I'm like, you guys don't have trees, quit lying, you know? He's like, yeah. He goes, they're starting to turn a little bit, you know. I'm like, yeah. We're like full fall here in Ohio. All our trees are all different colors already. And he was mentioning like New Hampshire and Connecticut and stuff. I'm like, it's pretty colorful here too in Ohio. So, you know, once you get in the wooded area, get away from the city stuff. It's pretty colorful.
Yeah, out here, same thing, man. In Oregon, there's a lot of colors changing. I mean, a lot of our trees are those fucking like pine tree things, so like they don't really change colors much. But the other trees do, and some of them are really nice. Some of them will turn red or orange or whatever, yellow, pink or whatever, different fucking colors, I guess. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we did this whole thing once already. We had a whole conversation about snow and cars, and you know, it was a really good conversation, but you guys are not gonna hear any of it. It's like
it was a good deep conversation as well.
It was like 10 minutes of us talking about some cool shit, and now you guys get none of that because Mayo fucked up the recording.
I was pretty enlightened by it. I won't lie, you know. I'm like, this is just some amazing ass conversation, and then I happen over and look at my settings, and I'm like, oh man.
This conversation would have changed your life, I'm telling you. You would not be the same person after listening to it, but now...
Well, it changed mine. I mean, I don't know how about you.
Now you're fucked. Now you got to live the same life. Sorry, guys. And girls. Sorry. I mean, fuck. Anyways, you can follow us on Twitter at _horriblegamers. Leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify as well. You can leave us a review on there. Well, I don't know if you can review us per se, but you can actually leave like a rating, I guess, right? Because I don't think you can actually write a review, but you can leave us a rating on there. 5 stars are appreciated, of course. You can also join our Facebook group, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community is on Facebook. It's a closed group. Anything that people post in that group stays in that group. So that means only members of the group can see it. It doesn't appear on your feed for your regular friends or whatever. Also, there is a page on Facebook. You can like that page. And you can also... follow us on Twitter and Discord. We have a Discord as well. Join us on Discord. That's probably our best way to join us nowadays. I'm going to say, right?
Like, oh, yeah, definitely. I think that's probably where, at least I know I'm the most active. And then it's just so easy to get notifications to your phone, your PC, wherever you're at. It's easy.
So easy to get in there. And then the cool thing about Discord, you can see who's playing what usually, because that's linked to PS5 now and Xbox. And like PC, and you can see what people are doing. You know, I always see Nipron watching YouTube videos. I'm like, what are you doing, Nipron? What are you watching? Why are you watching YouTube all the time? What the fuck's he watching?
I mean, even you can even link it with Spotify. It'll tell you what the person's listening to. I'm like, man, Jesus is listening to that again, really? I mean,
like really, Jesus? Is my shit linked to Spotify? Maybe it is.
No, I'm not sure if you are or not, but I know I have some friends that are, and I remember seeing on there. I'm like, oh, this Cadillacs is listening to this, or this person's listening to that. And I'm like, that's funny.
Cadillacs listening to the Barney soundtrack.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, dude, man. You really got to quit listening to that that song. But I get to see how many people are listening to the Korn song. That's what it is. It's like, oh shit, look at this guy listening to the Korn song over there.
That Korn song sucked. Gunny, you suck for recommending that song. That song was trash.
Was it Gunny or Brian Tulip Jr. that recommended that song? And we just looked it up.
Yeah, it was Brian Tulip Jr. Brian Tulip Jr., you fucking suck for recommending that song.
Him and his TikTok test over there. He's keeping up with all these trends.
That song was trash. Anyways. Sorry, I'm eating a chocolate-covered espresso bean now.
Oh, I'll go get her that coffee.
Yeah, I might be wired as fuck if I eat this whole bag, dude. It's like a 4-ounce bag. It's pretty big, man. This is a lot of espresso beans. I don't know if I should be eating that many. It'd probably give me a heart attack. Anyways, you can get on over to Patreon, patreon.com/horrible gamers. Give us your monies, like Leahy has. I love you, Leahy. And Jason Sams, I love him too. And Robert Noble, I love him too. And Sean Patrick, I love you too. And Chad, you know I love Chad. Henley knows I love him. Pork Chop Poo, I love Pork Chop Poos. That's my favorite pork chops.
Oh, definitely.
Nybron, I love you, Nybron. And the best HGP host ever, you know I love you, Mayo.
Oh, yeah, you too.
Evan, please help. I'm stuck in Ohio, Tanaka. Evan is sending warning, people. He's sending us a message.
Don't mind that, Jesus. That was a typo.
Oh, is that a typo? He didn't mean to type that in there?
I think he said, I meant to say, I don't want to leave Ohio. But I don't know. Maybe he's lying to me. I don't know. But last time he told me, he's like, I don't want to leave this place. This place is so amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
I'm not going anywhere.
Please help. I'm stuck in Ohio. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, fuck. Jonathan Titan, Big D Hall. I love you, buddy. And the first HGP Patreon, Bill, still even the biggest. D. Gardner the second, the Elden Lord. Also, the twin father. He's having twins, dude.
Yeah.
I just saw on his Facebook. I was like, what? Motherfucker's having kids and he's having twins. He's fucked. He has all that cool gaming shit he had is gone. That shit's gonna be gone as fuck. No more cool pop collection. No more buying all the Steam Decks and other PS5s.
Yeah. Well, I think he sold
no
the pop
more of that
already.
shit.
He traded that in for some baby tables already.
Yeah, no shit. Be trading all that shit for diapers and fucking formula and shit, dude.
Oh my gosh, I could not imagine buying formula these days. It was expensive back when my kids were little. I couldn't imagine now.
And then that whole shortage happened, and then the fucking shit got all fucked up. I don't know. Did that shit all get figured out? Even I'm assuming it all got like fixed. No,
I'm assuming. I guess nobody heard any more about that ever. I don't know.
No, I guess they just stopped talking about it. I assume they got fixed, but who knows? Yeah, man. Even when my daughter was born, I remember we had to buy formula, man, and like she always drank that stupid fucking that special sensitive fucking shit formula.
It's like $30 a can.
Yeah, literally, it was like $30 a fucking can. I was like, what? How? Like, this is not, like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? $30 a can? And those little fuckers drink so much of that shit. So they're like, it's crazy. Like, that's such a racket, dude. We need to get into the formula business and make, like, $15 cans.
Oh, there you go.
But see, no one will buy it because they'll think your shit's trash. Hey, that's some hobo-ass formula. I ain't buying that shit. I want the expensive shit. That's the logic behind people with their baby shit. They don't buy the cheap shit. They buy like the brand name shit, even though the brand name shit is probably the same as the cheap shit. and they cost twice as much because they want the best for their kids, right?
Right.
So we got to make ours more expensive, Mayo. We got to make ours $60 formula.
Oh, there you go. You're on to something now.
You know, and we brand it as luxury formula, and people will definitely buy that shit then, you know, because they'll be like, oh, well, this formula costs $60. I'm definitely going to buy this shit because this must be really good for my baby. Yeah.
Nice.
You know what? I'm on to something there.
You are.
You know, I'm telling you, just tell me, when you had a kid, did you not buy the nice shit for your kid, or did you buy the cheap shit?
No, we bought the nice stuff. We bought the...
See, exactly.
Yeah.
Was it like Similac or whatever the fuck?
Yep.
The fucking Similac, like the brand name fucking formulas, right? You don't buy the cheap shit, dude. So
Well, yeah, pretty much everybody, like all the stores around here, that's like the only thing they carried, if I remember right. Like, they had like the store brand, but like
yeah,
but like I can't remember like some of the names that we had around here. Like Walmart
Like
had their
Walmart-
own brand.
yeah,
And
like
then
Walmart
you
has
had-
their brand.
Then you had Similac, and that was it. And then Similac had like
Yeah.
8 different varieties that started off expensive and went to incredibly expensive.
Yeah, and then they had like the Infamil is the other one, right? Infamil.
Yeah.
There's Similac. Those are like the two big brands that I know of, like formula brands, like Similac and Infamil. But yeah, there's like always like the Safeway brand, the Kroger brands. There's the fucking Albertsons brand. There's the Walmart. Those are like the store brands, right? Which I'm telling you are probably the exact same shit, literally, that they put in the other ones. They just label the can differently.
Oh, yeah.
But people are stupid, and they will buy the fucking expensive shit thinking that they're buying the better shit. Because it's just wired into our brains that if you buy the name brand shit, it's better than the hobo shit. All right? That doesn't apply to food, really, but people think it does. But it really doesn't, man. If you, to be honest with you, a lot of the shit is the exact same thing. They just label it differently.
Yeah.
But anyways, good luck with all that, Bill. Good luck. I'll buy your Steam Deck for $1 when you need it.
Right? And I'll give him $2 for his PS5.
There you go, $2. That's $3 you made right there towards a new can of formula.
He's almost there.
In all seriousness, though, congratulations on the twins. And yeah, let's get to talking about video games and stuff. You can also buy some stuff over at Redbubble. You know how to get there. Big shout out to Phantom Mank for the intro and outro music to the podcast. And yeah, video games. So, Mayo, this week I played games, or the last 2 weeks, I guess. I want to apologize to listeners. We've been skipping a week here and there. It's just really hard to get together, man.
It is.
It is really hard.
Well, it doesn't help
Like-
me being on nights right now, and then I'm having to work like the days we typically record.
Mhm.
And then you guys are kind of like on days, you know, and your schedule's kind of
Yeah.
all over the place. And it's just like, okay, let's try to get together here. Nope, can't happen. Okay, let's get together here. Nope, can't happen. Okay, I got this day. You got that day, you know, and then like,
Yeah,
we're just gonna
Gunny's
try
like,
to make this
oh,
happen.
Gunny's like, oh, I'm in Fiji right now, guys. I came with the. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You know, all of a sudden you're in like another state. What are you doing, Gunny? Like, you know, we record on Mondays. Oh, guys, by the way, I'm over here and I'm in Alaska right now having dinner with the wife.
Right?
Like, what the fuck? Gunny always does that shit, right? Will never tell us that he's doing some crazy trip. And then out of nowhere, like Sunday night, he'll send us a photo of himself, like, on top of a fucking mountain or something. Hey, guys, I'm out here with the wife and the kid. We're out here fucking at some festival in the middle of the fucking forest. Like, what are you doing, Gunny? We're recording tomorrow. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Okay, guys, I'm in Alaska right now. No big deal. Like, what the fuck? Gunny's always doing that. Gunny's the worst one of that shit. He never tells us his plans. And then he'll just hit us with, hey, guys, I'm in fucking Fiji. Like, okay, Gunny. Well, that's cool to know, buddy. You could have told us this like 3 weeks ago, maybe. You know, it would have been helpful. But okay. I blame Gunny for everything. It's his fault.
It
Blame
is.
him.
This is the Gunny Paul show.
It's all his fucking fault. Fucking Gunny. He can't defend himself, so we're going to blame everything on him right now. Anyways, video games. So this week, I played some games. Of course, I played some more Battlefield. Now, Battlefield has had some recent more patches or whatever. They got that new mode out for the last 2 weeks that called the Liquidator mode. And it's a new conquest, like 8 versus 8, 16 versus 16. infantry only, tinier maps, 3 objectives. More like a domination kind of thing, but they call it conquest. And I've been playing the shit out of that. So the thing about this is that they have like this skins attached to this mode, and you can unlock certain skins. Like you get like one character skin and like a gun and a banner and like a tank skin. But to get all of them, you have to get 100 ribbons. Like if you get the first 30 ribbons, you get like the background for your little player card. If you get the next 30, you get like the gun skin. If you get the next 30, you get like the player skin, the character skin. Then if you get the last to the 100, you get like the tank skin or whatever. The problem with that was that the first week of it, it was only 8 versus 8 Mayo on the matches.
Uh-huh.
And getting those ribbons was kind of hard. I mean, like 8 versus 8 is not many players. And it was really weird, man. Like it was kind of like a bitch to get kills. And like on most times, you know, like I would only get like 2 ribbons per match. Now, granted, some of these matches went really fast. They would last like 5 minutes. But still, it was kind of like a grind. Like I was like, man, this is going to take forever to get to 100. And then this week, I'm assuming on Sunday or whatever, they updated the thing to have 16 versus 16 players, which is a lot more action going on because now you've doubled the player count on both sides. So they added like 2 more squads to each side. So that was kind of cool. One thing that I do like about this mode, though, is that when somebody in your squad selects a certain character, like one of the specialists, no one else in your squad can select the same specialist. So you can't have a squad of all shield guys running around, you know, because only one guy on your squad can run the shield guy. Only one guy on your squad can run the medic guy or whatever. Only one guy in your squad can run the turret guy, etc. So that's really, really cool. And I hope that they implement that into the main game itself, because it's kind of a cool idea. It kind of forces you to think, like, what does my teammates have? What do I have? And what can complement their character, you know? So, like, if I'm running the shield guy, who's going to complement that by having a different type of character that can, I don't know, put down a turret around me or whatever, you know? So that was kind of cool. I do like the maps that they used in this mode. They had Caspian Border, Erica Harbor. They had a few other ones from the main Battlefield game, etc. But it was cool, man. I really like the mode. The skins are kind of cool. Like I said, you unlock one skin. That's for the shield guy. I forget his name. But then you can buy the skins for the other characters. The problem with that is that they don't sell all the skins like in a pack. Instead, they sell the skins each one individually, and they sell them with their own thing. So, like, if you buy the skin for, like, the one chick, you get her skin, but you also get, like, a banner for her, and you get, like, a weapon skin maybe, and, like, a vehicle skin, and, like, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is. What other bullshit, but it's only for her character, really, you know? Like, It's kind of shitty the way they do that, because each one of those skins costs either anywhere from, like, $8 to, like, $17. So if you want the skins for all the characters, you can imagine how much money you can end up spending real quick, you know, trying to get all those skins for everyone. And the problem is that these skins are being sold in a limited time. So, like, once this week is over, supposedly these skins are out of the store. Like, this event is over, the skins are done. Like, you can't get them anymore. So it's kind of like, okay, do I really want that skin? I kind of want it, but do I want to pay for it? Now, the cool thing is that being a Battlefield, whatever, like, gold member, whatever the fuck that I bought, whatever I pre-order, whatever edition, I get the battle passes for free, right?
You know how
so,
many
like, right now,
how many you gonna get for free?
The whole year, so up to season 4, I think, so up to Battle Pass 4. Right now we're on 2. So the next one we'll get for free, and the one after that we'll get for free. So the cool thing about that is all the gold coins that they've been giving us in the Battle Passes for having the Premium Pass or whatever, I have those coins banked up. So I do have like 1,750 coins or whatever, or the battle coins or whatever the fuck they're called. So I do have enough to buy one of these skin packs, but I'm debating. I'm like, do I just want to bite the bullet now and buy one of these, or wait to see what they come out in the next season and maybe buy one of those? I don't know, you know. It's kind of like, I don't know what to do, you know? And I
Yeah.
do see some people running around with premium skins in the game. Like, I have run into a few people that, like, some people have, like, that cowboy skin for the one character. I forget his name, but he's dressed like a fucking cowboy, which looks kind of weird in Battlefield, you know? Because it's like, you got all these soldier-looking motherfuckers, and then some guy running around with a cowboy hat, looking like fucking Woody or something from Toy Story, running around with the fucking cowboy hat on. You're like, what the fuck? Like, that guy's totally out of place in this map, you know? Like, everyone has, like, armor and helmets and shit. This guy's running around with the cowboy hat on. Like, okay, buddy, cool.
He's not
But,
scared.
I guess not. I guess he looks like some guy from fucking Red Dead got dropped into fucking Battlefield or something, dude. It was really weird looking. But yeah, anyways, play some more Battlefield. Besides Battlefield, what the fuck else did I play? I'm trying to think, man. I think I went back to Cyberpunk for a little bit, play a little bit of that.
No, speaking of Cyberpunk, Cadillac's, he's got that new computer. He's been playing different games, and he jumped into Cyberpunk. And he sent me a message, I think 2 days ago, showing me a screenshot. And he's like, Cyberpunk is fucked right now. He's like, he said because of an update. I don't know if he was talking about like graphics card update, like his NVIDIA drivers, or if it was like a game update. But he's like, look at this, and he sent me a screenshot, and his map, it's like all like pixelated. Like it's not like you can't even see it. Like it's not even drawn. It's like it's just like static. But you can see parts of the map, and then like the whole center of the screen just covered in like static. And he's like, what the fuck is this? He's like, it's broke. I can't even play it right now. And so I don't know if he was referring to like a game update or what. And he said Reddit was talking about it, like a bunch of people on Reddit. So it wasn't just his PC. And I don't know if it has anything to do with, he's got that new 3090 Ti, has anything to do with that or what. But he's like, it's just broke right now. It's completely unplayable for him.
Did he update to the newest drivers?
I'm gonna assume, but I did not ask him at the time. I was kind of on the go, and I just kind of happened to see it.
Because there's some new drivers out for all the cars.
He said there was an update, but he didn't say like what if it was an update to his drivers or if it was an update to the game. He just said there was an update and it broke the game, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So I don't know about the state of it like today, but he said it was on Reddit. I don't know. He goes, I'm not the only one having this issue, so that's kind of unfortunate if that's the case, or people having some issues right now. But are you seeing anything over there? I know you're trying to searching right now, aren't you? Look.
I am. I'm looking at it right now. People are saying that there's it's because of the new NVIDIA drivers.
Okay, yeah, he just said there was an update and it broke it. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
They're saying that the NVIDIA drivers are what did it. So they're saying to roll back the NVIDIA driver to the previous one, and it should work. They said that NVIDIA is working on a patch to get that fixed.
That's easy enough, I guess. I mean,
yeah, that's weird. Like, how the fuck did NVIDIA fuck that up? They don't... like that's fucking weird. Like, it wasn't the game; it was the graphics card, I guess.
They don't mess stuff up very often. It seems like I've pretty much never really had much of a problem with NVIDIA. Have you?
No, never really.
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
this new update really actually increased performance in most of the graphics cards, even like the old graphics cards, the 2070s or 20 series or whatever, and the 30 series, and then even the 4000, the new ones. The supposedly this new update was supposed to improve performance up to like 20% in all the graphics cards.
It's crazy for me. Like when I think about stuff like that, like NVIDIA, the stuff that they handle, they have a lot of stuff with a lot of games. I'm surprised we don't have more problems. It's like when they make a new driver, there's probably no way they go back in there and sit there and test that. For
everything
game.
Right? Yeah.
There's no way. There's too many games. You could maybe test the major games, but can you imagine like being a guy working in NVIDIA or being in NVIDIA and going, okay, here's a new update like every month, and it works with every game all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy.
Pretty impressive.
And to think, like, a lot of the times the updates do improve performance on the cards, like even older cards, Like this update, they said like even old cards are gonna get improved performance because of whatever they're doing to them or whatever. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
But yeah, play a little bit of Cyberpunk. That game is good, man. Like right now, my only big problem with that game is I'm debating like how do I want to go about it. Like, what kind of character do I want to make? You know, like that's my hardest part with it right now is like, do I want to make a running gun character? Do I want to make a stealth character? Do I want to make a melee character? Do I want to make like what do I want to make? Because I know that the problem with that game is like you cannot upgrade the entire thing completely. Like you can't put all your points into stealth and expect to have
a full tree
of stealth and a full tree of like gun things unlocked. Like you either got to go one way or the other or kind of be balanced in between the both of them, which is the way I did it last time was I was kind of in between both, right? I had like a little bit of stealth things, but I had a lot of gun things, but also had a lot of strength things and health things. Like right now I'm thinking, do I want to just put everything into guns and be like a super heavy attack motherfucker, just kill everything with one shot and not have to worry about the stealth mechanics, you know, and not even do those? Or do I want to put everything into hacking, or do I want to put everything into the like? That's the problem with that game. Like you cannot upgrade everything. That's my biggest issue with it is you have to go a certain route and you got to stick with that. Like the game will tell you like you can respec at like one of those Ripper docks apparently with the new updates or whatever. Like there is like a Ripper dock thing where you can like go to the Ripper dock and pay them money, and it'll respec your character or whatever to whatever you want to do in the future. But it's like, do I want to do all that? Like, I'd rather just stick with what I have.
That's kind of a neat option, because if you think of a world like that where you could do, like, cyber enhancements, there would be a way of resetting your enhancements, you know what I mean? Like, hey, pay some money, and Jesus, you could be way better than what your other way was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could jump way higher, or you can be really good at melee attacks or whatever. Because my whole goal in this one is to get those, because I know there's a place in the game where you can get those little spider hand things, like those little blades that come out of your arms or whatever. Those look cool as fuck, like those swords or whatever that come out of your arms. I want to get those, and I know you can get them. I just haven't. I know there was, like a long time ago, there was an article talking about like you have to go to this place and you can steal them or buy them or whatever. So I'm probably gonna look that up eventually, or just run into the game and get it. But like there's certain things I want to do in the game. You know, I kind of want to upgrade my guy and just fuck around in the world and run around that world and do all the crazy shit. Because I know for a fact, last time I played it, I got to a point in the game where I was just kind of like, okay, I just got to see this through, man, because I'm never going to finish this. If I don't push myself to finish this game, I'm never going to finish it, Mayo. It's going to just never finish, dude. I'm going to just be playing this shit forever, so I might as well just push myself to it, you know? And, like, this time, I'm more in it for, like, no, I'm going to be in Cyberpunk forever. Like, I don't want to finish it. I want to be in here. I just want to be in this world. Fuck the finishing the game. I don't want to finish it. I just want to run around the world and do missions as I do them and get cool shit, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, you beat the story once already, so you kind of know a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
So you kind of, like, you're playing it that second time, so you probably just, the reason you're playing it for the second time is to experience new things, so you're not really ready to leave, I guess, per se.
Yeah.
You kind of know what's going to happen in a way. I mean, not every, the story could be different, but you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be somewhat different.
There is things that I do want to try to beat that I didn't beat last time, or that, like, because that game does do things that other games don't do. Like, this game, some missions, some of the side quests, if you fail them, it outright tells you, like, you failed. And, like, there's no going back. Like, oh, no, dude, you failed that. Like, that guy's dead.
It's just done. Yeah, I remember that. Being like, that arc is gone.
Yeah, like, that motherfucker's dead. You're never going to see him again. You fucked that up. Good luck. Like, that was on you, buddy. Like, you screwed that up. And I remember I did that really early in the game. There was a few missions where I had to go rescue, like, you know, like the side gigs or whatever. The people will call you and be like, hey, man, I got this guy who's waiting to be, like, picked up at this location. Can you just go pick him up? And I show up and the motherfucker's, like, half dead already. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's like, hey, man, I need you to get me to a fucking Ripper dock, like, right now. And I jump, you know, I grab it, and I'm trying to run now. And there's, like, people shooting at me, and I fail to get to the objective or whatever fast enough, or, like, to get him there alive. Because it's, like, a timer, like a 2-minute timer, and I have to get him there fast enough. and I fail completely, and it's like, no, the dude died. Like, I don't know, leave his body in the car and leave the car somewhere. I don't know, he's dead. You failed. Good job, Jesus. You failed. Like, fuck you.
Right.
You know, so it's like, I
Yeah.
guess. So I kind of want to see like those things through. You know, be able to get those guys. I don't know. It probably doesn't make much of a difference in the end of the day, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I want to experience that. And I also want to know how they're going to do the DLC. Like, is the DLC a thing that's going to be like, okay, because you know the game in the end has an ending. Like, your character is over. Like, he dies or he lives or whatever happens in the end. Like, your story is done. So like, how is this DLC going to work? Is it going to be like, oh, you got to get to this certain chapter in the game and then this DLC unlocks, or like, how does that work? You know what I mean? Um, I want to know how that works, because like, they can't say, oh, the DLC takes place after the game ends. Like, well, no, it doesn't, because the character is fucking gone. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, you know, like, what the fuck is this gonna take place after the game ends? You have to stick it somewhere in the middle of the story, you know. So I'll see how that happens, because that whole DLC is supposed to unlock a new area of the world and shit, and like add new upgrades or whatever augmentations to the fucking game, and new weapons and new shit and a new storyline and all this shit. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hopefully
it
they
does.
do it right. Hopefully they do it right. Anyways, Battlefield, Cyberpunk. What else did I play this week? I'm trying to think, man. It's hard to think what I play, because I play like the same shit a lot, and sometimes I'll add like some random stupid shit in there, and like, I don't know what the fuck I played. I gotta go back. I gotta open up my Steam and check.
Any more? Oh, have you opened up Steam recently? Because I actually have not. I've been kind of on the run, and my Steam was completely different. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot they updated it. I had a hard time logging in at first because I just logged in, and my phone app is completely different. My desktop is completely different for Steam, and
Really?
so yeah, the login was different. I don't know if you've done it. Maybe it just happened recently.
What?
I don't know, but like. It had like a little QR code you can scan at the beginning, like right away. It was really big, and it just kind of, the whole layout was different. I was like, oh, okay. So then it's like log in on your phone. I go log in my phone, and I was logged out of that too. And I'm like, damn it. So then I had to like just log in. I'm like, okay.
Nah, dude, my Steam looks the same.
Huh.
What kind of
Maybe.
fucking Steam are you running, bro?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, it's just a little bit. I mean, it kind of looks the
Um,
same, but the login screen is completely different in the setup, and then my phone one, the login's different
well,
now.
I never see the login screen. It just logs me in.
Oh, okay. See, I log in every day, so I leave it.
Oh, you log out every time?
Yeah, I log out every day.
Why do you log out every day?
Um, I don't have it power on with my PC, and so I just shut down my PC.
Well, I shut down my PC too. It's just
Yeah, I just don't stay logged in. I mean, no, I do on my phone, but
how like, even I don't stay like I don't have it just to launch at startup either. I just when I launch Steam, it will log me in automatically.
it could be because we switch accounts here a lot. Because my son, when he's here, he logs me out and stuff, then he logs in, and so
Oh,
it
okay.
could just be because of that. But maybe I could do the whole password thing in the Steam Guard code, and then I log in typically. But it
Yeah.
could be
Anyway,
just because me and
no.
him switching accounts back and forth.
Besides that, I don't think I've played much. I'm looking at my updates. I played a little bit of Among Us. Actually, I played that on my phone the other day.
Among
'Cause
Us,
I
of
was,
all things.
yeah, I was, every once in a while, I get on my phone and I'll play some games before bed. Like, it's like my wind down. Like, all right, let's find some games to play before bed. And like, you'd be surprised how many console games are actually on an iPhone nowadays. Like, a lot of them are, man. Like, to my biggest surprise, one of the ones that I found was Tropico. Tropico is on a fucking iPhone.
Nice.
Like, you can legit play the original. I believe it's up to like, I think it's the original one and like another one. I think they're like $8 or $10 or something. But I mean, it's the full game with no ads. Like, the game is there, and it's the same game you have on your Xbox or your PC. I mean, obviously it's dumbed down. The graphics are, but like the gameplay, it's all there. I found Tropico. I didn't buy it, but I thought about buying it but I was like, that's a long game. Do I really want to play that on a phone? Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find games that I can play like really quick before bed, not games that I'm gonna fucking sit there for 4 hours planning out my island and shit. You know, like I don't have that time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's like a sit down and play game. That's not a play for 5 minute game. But I found Among Us obviously because it just popped up. It was free, obviously free to play, and yeah, it's Among Us. I mean, I was playing that, dude, and it's kind of a cool thing. You know, on the phone, it just works. You're playing on the phone. You got the same little maps, and you run around and you fix the things, and you're either the killer or not the killer. I was caught right away as the killer, like legit right away.
Oh man.
I swallowed this guy around. I crack his neck, and there's a guy that runs right by me. I'm like, ah, fuck! Ah! He's running to the butter, and he's like, I saw him kill him. He killed him over here. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Stop lying. And he's like, no, I did. I saw you kill him. I was like, fuck. And they kicked me out right away. Like, the thing about the phone version that I found different from, like, not the console, but the PC version we played with our friends is playing with randoms. People do not listen to your defense at all. Like, there was so many times in, like, these lobbies where, like, people were getting booted just because someone said they saw them do something weird. Oh, I saw Orange over here. He was in the vents. When the guy's like, no, you fucking didn't, dude. I was just standing there doing something. He's like, no, bro. I saw you. You went into the vent, and you came out, and I saw you. And it's like, guys, no, he didn't fucking see me. Like, this guy's lying. And no one cares. Everyone's just like, fucking kick Orange. Fuck him. He's out. He's out. Fuck him.
Get the yellow guy next, right?
Yeah, like... It was like he was not the imposter. Like so many people got kicked out of the one match because there was like 3 guys left. Finally, we got the killer, but it was like, Jesus, we kicked like half of the crew out the fucking airlock with like no chance of them even sitting. And like when we were playing on the PC, you know, being able to actually hear people talk and defend themselves. You know, there was a lot of matches where I convinced a lot of people that, like, other people were the killer, and I was the fucking killer. But I'm in there like, no, man, I was just quiet. I just remember that one match, I was just quiet the whole time. Everyone was arguing with each other, kicking each other, and I'm just fucking quiet the whole match. And in the end, it was me, and everyone was like, motherfucker, you didn't even say a word the whole time.
Right.
I was like, well, that's the thing, man. I just sat there, you know, I let you guys kill each other off while I just did my thing.
Hasn't that game changed quite? Like when we played it, I think isn't there more players now is an option. I think I remember seeing some stuff like it updated a little bit. I think, and I thought something maybe like it had more players as an option. Or
I think there could be up to 15 players in the lobby on the phone. I'm assuming it's the same on the PC and the console.
Didn't it used to be like 10 when we played?
Yeah, it used to be 10. Yeah.
So I haven't played it.
And there is like a battle pass progression thing, sort of. I don't know if there's a battle pass, but there's like a store in the game where you can buy things for your character. But at the same time, they also give you like a currency for every match you play. So like every match that I was doing, like even if you died right away, it was like, hey, you got 100 of these beans. They call them beans, and they're like little red beans or whatever, like jelly beans. Mm-hmm. You got 100 of these, or you got 50 of these, or you got 300 of them, or you got 400 of them.
Does it depend on like, how far you make it, maybe? Like if you're the killer and you make it so far, or...
I don't know. I had like, I don't know. I think right now I have like 400 or something. But I went to the store, and like some of these things were like, oh, this thing costs 500 beans. This thing costs 1,000. This thing costs 10,000 or whatever. So like, there's different things going on there with that. I know you could probably buy the beans. But I mean, they give them out pretty liberally, so I don't know. I just would play and get free shit, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, so I play a little bit of Among Us. Another game that I found on my phone that's actually a really cool game, guys. It's so if you're a football fan like myself and you like football, you may want to play this game. All right, it's not hardcore. It's kind of pretty simple, but it's called Retro Bowl, and it's like a 90s football game on your phone. So it's like very like, I don't know, like it's an arcadey, like 90s football game. You think of like football in the 90s, Mel. So you got like the little pixel guys that are running sideways on the field and you throw the ball.
Right.
Very simple. So the premise of the game is you start off as a head coach of a team. I don't know, you get picked for like a random team or whatever, and the team is kind of shitty. And, you make decisions like as a manager of the team, you can draft players, you can trade off players, and you play 18 games in the season. You can go to the playoffs, you can go to the Super Bowl or whatever. And, your ranking goes up, your coach ranking goes up or, higher and higher, the better your team does or whatever if you get to the playoffs or whatever. And the game is actually pretty simple. Like, to throw the ball, you simply like hold down on your phone and you like swipe, and you kind of like, it shows the little line where the guy's going to throw, and then you throw the ball, and then sometimes you'll get intercepted, or sometimes the guys will fumble, or sometimes whatever will happen. And your players will get injured, so they'll be out for a few weeks. You can upgrade your player stats the better they play, so you like, if a certain player catches so many balls or whatever, or passes, and they score touchdowns and shit, they'll get better stats. You can upgrade their stamina, their speed, their strength, and their like agility or whatever. And your head coaches, like your offensive coach and your defensive coordinator, you can upgrade them too to like have like a better defense and a better offense, better play calling or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very simple game. And when I first got it, it had ads or whatever. And like I said, do you want to just upgrade to the ad-free version? Which, when you upgrade to the ad-free version, what it does is it gives you like it adds weather to the game. So like it makes the game so like where sometimes there's rain or there's snow or whatever the fuck I think. And like you can also customize your you can change your uniform, like the way your uniforms look. You can have like the rush uniform or the home uniform, the away uniform, the retro uniform, etc. And so like I was like, fuck it. The upgrade wasn't very expensive either. I want to say it was either 99 cents or $3.99. I don't remember which one it was. So it could have been anywhere from $1 to $4. It wasn't expensive though. It was like really cheap. And I was like, fuck it, I'll do the upgrade. And I got it, and like the ads are gone now, and I'm playing the game, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with that game, dude. It's like the quarters are not long. It's like you can set the quarters to be 3 minutes long or 2 minutes long, depends on how long you want to play. But it's really simple game. Like you only play as the offense. The defense like automatically sims the defense, but like you obviously have to draft players for your defense. And the better defensive players you have, the better chances of your team stopping the other team is. Mm-hmm. But you only ever play the offense, or like you receive the kicks. Like when somebody kicks the ball to you, you receive it, you run it back. You play that part of the game, but everything else is simulated. So like when the other team is playing the offense, all it'll tell you is like, okay, they ran for 15 yards, they passed for 10 yards. Oh, they're in the red zone now. Like, oh, your team failed to stop him because linebacker so-and-so didn't have enough strength to tackle this guy or whatever. So it kind of gives you hints to like, all right, maybe so next time I'm thinking, oh, this guy doesn't have enough strength to tackle these guys. Maybe next time his stats come up to be upgraded, maybe I should upgrade his strength or his tackling, you know what I mean? So it kind of gives you little hints like that on what to upgrade on your characters. But yeah, it's a cool little game, and they have like every team in the NFL. Obviously, they don't have the names of the teams, but they have all the cities. So, like, all the cities are there. So, like, got the LA Rams, the Raiders, and shit. They got all these. The teams are there, the cities are there, but the obvious team names aren't there because they're not. It's not licensed, but this game is not licensed by the NFL. But it's a really cool game, man. It's really simple. It's really fun. It has a lot of reviews that are people are saying like, man, I just got this game on a whim, thinking it was going to be fun or whatever, and this became one of my favorite games all of a sudden. And same for me, like, literally, I got this game just thinking, another one of these games, I guess I'll just try it, whatever. And, like, fuck, dude, I fell in love with it. And, like, I think I played, like, 4 or 5 seasons already in the game.
Nice.
And they're really fun, man. And you get to the Super Bowl, you get to the playoffs, and you win. Some players will retire eventually. Some players will stay with you, and you can trade players for like because you go to the draft after the season's over. You have to draft players, and you have first round, second round, third round. And during the beginning of the year, you can trade players off. So like some people will say, hey, like if you have a really good, say you have a really good wide receiver, but he's getting older, right? And you know, like, okay, this guy only has like 2 years left at best to like keep playing for me before he retires. I'm going to trade him off right now when he's really high in stats and has really good rating. And some teams will offer you like, hey, we'll give you 2 first-round picks for that guy. And you're like, okay, like now I have 3 first-round picks that I can get, you know? Or like, hey, we'll give you a first round and a second round pick, or we'll give you a third round pick, or whatever. Like you can trade off your players and shit all the time. And you have a team morale, so your team can have low morale or high morale. Players can also have a morale setting. So like if your quarterback's doing really shitty, his morale will drop really low, meaning that he'll have even less of a morale, and he'll be throwing passes worse or whatever. It's a really cool little game, man. And this is a fucking phone game. Like, I've really been enjoying this game a lot, and it's a blast, man. I think you should try it. I think they also have like a soccer version for all our European listeners out there. Now play the other football. They have a soccer version. It's called like Kick Retro or something like that, or Soccer Retro or something, Retro Soccer or something, Retro Ball. I don't know what they call that one, but it's the same thing.
My son was playing it a while back, like quite a while ago now. I don't know if he's still playing it or not, but maybe.
Really?
Maybe I'll check it out because I have this new phone. I haven't played any games on it at all, but it's I got the new Samsung Fold 4, and so it's got that nice big screen when you open it up. So like it'd be kind of nice to maybe mess around with some kind of game on it. I heard it's really good for Game Pass as well. I guess you like Bluetooth and a controller to it because it's got like its own little stand. You can kind of stand it up. And
I thought about doing that for my phone. I thought about like getting one of those backbone controllers maybe, and I was like, maybe I should just get one of those and launch Game Pass and play cloud games. I was like, those things cost like $100 though, man.
Yeah.
And like,
cheap.
I know I want to upgrade my phone. And like, does the new iPhone fit in that motherfucker? I don't know. How does that
with
work?
me, I got this folding phone, like so that ain't gonna work with any of that really. I mean, it does have it when it's folded closed. It has this screen on the front, but it's a little narrower than the typical phone like you have right now. Yeah. So it's not quite the same when it's closed, but when it's open and it's kind of a weird shape. It's more of a square. Like I mean, when you open it up, like how we kind of deal with a rectangle side like screen, it's kind of more squarish once you open it up, but It just gives you some bars on the sides and stuff, but it's been nice so far. Yeah, I'll have to check that game out. Like I said, I know I've seen him play it, and I'm pretty sure he still plays it. I think he jumps on here and there and plays. I'll have to ask him how many seasons he's played and stuff for you.
Yeah, because your players can carry on. Like sometimes you'll draft a rookie player, right? And because you can scout the players when you're drafting them, and then it'll show you like, okay, this guy's rated this right now. But like it'll show you their potential, and it'll show you like how high their stats can really be once you upgrade them all the way. And it'll say like this guy right now is a 3-star quarterback, but by scouting them, you can see that this guy can be a 5-star quarterback, and these are all his stats at the end when he's fully upgraded. So you're like, I really want to get this guy because he's a rookie and he could be like a really good fucking quarterback, at the end of the day if I upgrade him. So like it's really cool. Like being able to do all that.
Yeah, I think I could get into that kind of game on a phone as opposed to something like you're playing.
Simple.
Yeah, because like you're making like mental decisions and management type stuff instead of like trying to control things, And
yeah, like I said, you can even simulate all of the games. Really, like you can if you don't want to like say you're gonna play like a team that's really shitty, you can sim the games and it'll just like. Really quick, it'll just go like it'll be like, okay, you won or you lost at the end. Those most of the time you'll win, but there's a few times where I've lost to like a really shitty team. I thought, like, all right, this team has a pretty shitty looking defense. They're like 2 stars or whatever. My team had a 5-star offense and a 4-star defense, and we still lost. Like in the end, we still lost like 21-19. I'm like, how the fuck? What the fuck? And I was mad because I had like my team was undefeated, And then all of a sudden, we lost to this fucking shitty-ass team. We're like,
Oh, man.
like, what the hell is going on right now? This is some shit. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, though. Like, that game is good, though. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to keep playing it. And, yeah, that's really it. I haven't really played much else.
I think my son played a basketball game kind of like that, too. You control, like, like NBA teams in a way, but they're, again, it's like real cities, but not like new names. It's like fake names,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he was trying to get me to play that too, and you do your drafting and all that kind of stuff. And but yeah, to me, like, it just sounds, I don't know, I do not like phone games. They're just the way they control typically is the biggest thing, 'cause anything with touchscreen controls, like when it comes to an action game, I just don't do it. It's like I'm gonna waste my phone battery playing something I probably really ain't gonna enjoy the controls. I haven't had a couple old good games that were like on PC I remember picking up a long time ago on my Android, and they just keep carrying over. And I don't know if I ever should fire them back up. Like I have Terraria on my phone, and I remember I got so far in that game, and I was able to work it pretty well. But then I had to fight a boss, and it was just so damn hard. Like a really hard boss, and it's like this thing. It requires a lot of movement because it kind of like chases you, and you're kind of shooting back at it. And it's just so hard to try to do on a phone because the inputs just don't feel natural. You know what I mean? Like, cause you're touching a touch screen to make yourself move. And you're not actually like touching a button per se. And, but a game like this, like I could completely see myself maybe playing because it's more of a micromanagement type thing. And that's probably why you like it as well. Cause and you and your gunny and your micromanaging type stuff.
The other cool thing about it is that out of, like, 99% of phone games nowadays require you to log in, and they'll ask you, like, do you want us to track your data and all this shit? And on iPhone, you can tell them to not track your data or whatever. But this game doesn't ask you for shit. It's like, it works offline. You don't have to be online. You don't have to log into anything. It's just like you launch it, it's there, and you're fucking playing. You know what I mean? It's like no bullshit, like log in, give us your email. They don't ask you for shit. You know what I mean? They'll just tell you, like, hey, there's ads every once in a while, and if you don't want the ads and you want, like, new shit to do. Because, like, if you don't have the ad-free version, like, you don't do the kick returns, and you don't have, like, the ability to, like, make the quarters 3 minutes instead of 2 minutes, and, like, the weather effects are off. And there's something else that's off. I forget what it is. Like, something else that they don't let you do, like draft players or something. Like, you can't do that if you don't have the paid version. But they don't ask you for anything else. They don't ask you for your fucking email. They don't ask you to track your data. They don't ask you to send you notifications. Nothing. It's just like you play the game when you want to play it, and that's it. Like, we don't give a fuck. Like, so that's really cool of them. I really like that of this developer or whatever. And from what I hear, like, the game literally gets patches pretty consistently. Like, even since I've owned it, it's had a patch. And, like, on all the reviews, people are saying, like, it's crazy that a developer, even after releasing the game, like, a few years ago, they're still, like, doing updates for it, pretty, like, regularly. And they'll listen to feedback, and they'll do the update and add that into the game or whatever. And I heard that the new one, I heard that the soccer one is more new than this one. So the soccer one has, like, some, I guess, better managing features than this one does. But, I mean, I'm not really into soccer, so I don't know. Maybe I could get into it, because of whatever, because it's not that hard to play, really. But I'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick that one up, too, eventually. I don't know.
Nice.
But that's what I've really been playing, man. I really haven't gone back to Bomber Crew or nothing.
No?
I want to get a Plague Tale Requiem. That's on Game Pass now.
Oh, I know. That came out. I've not had a time to jump into that game yet because I love that first one. And I was excited for this to come out, and I've been waiting. I just haven't. The last couple of days have been really busy for me. So
it came out last night, yesterday.
Yeah, so I haven't had time yet, but it's on my list to be played. So looking forward to it.
Anyways, what have you been playing?
Oh, man. So when we recorded the show last, 2 weeks ago now, I want to say it was, we were talking, and I had the itch to kind of want to play an open world kind of adventure kind of game, but knowing I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I want to play something that's kind of open world, kind of medieval type feel to it. And so I end up actually just picking up Elden Ring finally. I haven't paid full price to this thing. It was just kind of at a whim. I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm in an Elden Ring kind of mood. And so I picked it up during the end of the show, got it all installed, and I played it a little bit. And I like what I played. The combat, Jesus, is really good.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So like just early on in the game, it does, Jesus, like I said, it doesn't really tell you a whole lot. And when, it doesn't hold your hand in the aspect of kind of like even your settings, Jesus. So like one thing I noticed like right away, I forgot going into this game that it's locked at 60 frames. The first thing we do as PC people is, you go in there and change your frame rate and turn off VSync and all that stuff. You don't get that option. You can't even turn on or off VSync. You can't control any of that. But the game, is playing the constant 60 frames for me. But so I did not like the controls on mouse and keyboard. It's like a third-person character kind of game. So like mouse and keyboard controls are kind of weird because your mouse is usually your camera. And it was stuff like instead of like using space bars for like jump, your space bar would be like your dodge, and you'd have to hit I think it was F or G to jump. Mm-hmm. And so you're like, okay, you have to kind of reach over there. And then a lot of stuff was like Q and E or R, like you were using. It was nothing crazy, but it just didn't feel natural. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to switch this up and probably play this with a controller. This is like a controller game. And I go ahead and I plug it in, my Xbox controller, right? Jesus. And what does every game pretty much do when you plug in your Xbox controller? Like, it takes right over, all the icons and everything show up, right? Instead of saying hit enter, it says hit A, to continue or something like that. No, Elden Ring does not do this. So I keep playing the game and I'm doing like the tutorial. There's this part where you can drop off this ledge and you go through this little, it tells you it's like, hey, you can drop off here kind of thing, and I'm like, okay, so I drop off this ledge. I'm going through the tutorial and I'm using the controller now, and all the controls it's telling me on screen are mouse and keyboard controls. I'm like, oh, fuck, what the hell? No. So I'm like trying to figure it out. So I'm like looking, I go to the options, and I'm like, controls, control scheme. So I'm looking at the controller. I'm like, okay, this is this A is this, B, So I'm like, okay, I think I got it. So then I'm doing the tutorial, and it's like, okay, you need to go behind this guy and hit left click. And I'm like, okay, what was left click? I'm like, And so I'm like, this is kind of a pain in the ass. Like, why does it not have this feature where it shows the icons on your screen? And I actually a little bit later on was messing with the options, and literally, Jesus, in the option menus is an option to turn on controller identifiers or whatever you want to call it. So even though I was running the controller, the game just doesn't automatically switch over for you. You have to go in there and manually turn that shit on to show not show mouse and keyboard controls over the controller. I'm like, oh, come on, really? You can't even give me this. Okay, you can make a game harder, you can do whatever, but like that was just kind of a weird thing. I don't think I've ever seen in a game before where I plugged in a controller and the prompt stuff doesn't automatically switch over for you. Because like it knows I was using a controller and everything, but it was still giving me the mouse and keyboard control. So that was kind of weird. I did really like it though. Like I said, the combat seemed like it was fun. Just kind of messing around. I ended up making like a samurai type character. I don't know what a good character type is to make, but it just kind of felt fun to make like a samurai looking guy. And so, very in-depth character creation early on and all that kind of stuff. It's Elden Ring. A lot of people know about that game. I've been playing it for a long time. I'm kind of late jumping on that bus, but it just kind of hit me that day. I'm like, I feel like I want to play some Elden Ring. Another thing I kind of feel like doing, Jesus, I feel like playing a shooter, and since I don't have Battlefield, and I didn't really feel like buying it yet. You know what? World War III, it went free to play.
There you go.
I'm like, I'm going to fire this game up, right? I'm going to go ahead and update it. So I update it. I'm like, the little bit that you and I had played, we paid extra for, that early access and stuff. I enjoyed it. And I thought, I think you did too. And, the biggest thing we had was matchmaking, I'm like trying to find people and stuff like that. So I'm like, being free to play, this game might be way better now, like actually having matchmaking and it's going to be fun. Launched the game. and it's like telling me I have to log in. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I'm logging in. So I get everything logged in, and it gives you this like thing when you log into a game. It gives you like a big checklist that pops up, and it's like it going through its things, and it only goes through like half of the checklist, and like half of the things are red. Like it did not load, did not work, not ready, not ready, not ready is like what it said. I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, and it like reinitialize. It does this like 3 times. It closes me out. I do it again, closes me out. I do it again, closes me out. So finally, like the 5th time, I get in. I'm like, yes, finally I got this fixed. I don't know what the deal was. That was kind of weird. I had to mess with logging in again, doing all this stuff. Then it was like, put your character name or your username in. And I'm like, okay, I do the Mayo, and it's like, nope, bad username, da-da-da-da, and it just would not let me log in. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like messing with it, and finally, I had to back out again, start everything over, and I get that whole little thing's not ready thing again, and I keep having to reset this a couple times. So then finally, again, I get past it, and I get the character, I get my username all like in, and it finally takes. Yeah. I'm like, sweet. So then I get to the screen where, Jesus shows like your loadout and your guns and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, we're ready to go. And I'm thinking maybe a little bit, Jesus, that we would have a little bit of kickback for paying. What did we pay, 20 or 25 for this game?
Yeah.
And it has like credits in the top corner, like for, I guess I'm assuming for like season pass type stuff. Nothing extra for us people that was early backers. That's fine, right? All your stats are reset to level 1. Yeah. All of our unlocks. Okay, that's fine. I completely get it. This game has a battle pass, right, Jesus, where you can earn credit and do this and that. They could at least give us a couple little credits. Maybe get like a skin. No.
A battle pass, maybe?
Yeah, or the battle pass. No, we don't get any of that either. You just you get to be like a regular day 1 hobo who, has the free version as well. So I'm like, okay, this kind of sucks, whatever. But so I get all things set up. I'm going through the loadout, it's all wiped. So I get the gun again, like with what very basic attachments I have, and okay, I'm ready to go. Find match. Click find match. I sit here for Jesus, I kid you not, 10 minutes. No match. I'm like, after all this work, it doesn't match make at all. So I cancel. I go back to the main menu where it shows like your character loadouts and all that shit, right? And so I'm like, boom, find a match. Walk away. Go cook some food. Check it. Nothing. Check it again. It signs me out. It's like no match found or something like that. I'm like, what the hell? I tried it like 3 or 4 times. No luck whatsoever. So then I ended up just closing it. But then people, it was getting review bombed. And I don't know what the reviews are right now on Steam. But people were not happy with it at this point. And they were having major server problems, I guess. And I'm assuming they got this fixed. But just what a blown opportunity probably for this game. You know what I mean? Like, this is like right when it went free to play. All these people are like, oh, I might check this game out. And then everything is a problem, and the character creation type stuff, the logging in, the initialization. Then actually once you get everything, if you're lucky, you get in and work in, and then the game doesn't even find you a match, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? But, I mean, I probably messed with this for like an hour. And I was being patient with it, so. And I'm like, I know when we played it, I mean, the game worked pretty well. We had some issues with matchmaking, and so we, you and I kind of, since we played it, we kind of know they were somewhat ready. Maybe their servers didn't have enough people or whatever, the matchmaking, but the game worked pretty well with loadouts and getting all that stuff kind of ready. It wasn't nothing, and this thing was just like unplayable. I was like, holy cow, like what happened to this game? And
that sucks. I mean, right now I'm looking at Steam charts. They're saying there's about 5,000 players playing. Brink was telling me that the game was dead. He's like, World War III is dead again. It's dead. Like, it's not dead, dude. I mean, it still has a higher player count than Battlefield 2042 did at a certain point.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I liked what I played when we were playing it early on. Definitely. I thought it was fun and stuff. So.
I play a little bit since it actually went free to play. I mean, I'm looking at Battlefield 2042 right now on Steam chart, and they have 4,869. And World War III Steam charts has, let's look it up real quick. It has 5,295.
Nice.
So it actually has more players than Battlefield 2042 right now on Steam.
Nice.
I mean, granted, Battlefield 2042 probably has a lot more because they also have Xbox, PlayStation, and then I don't know if Steam charts doesn't count Origin, does it?
I don't think it does.
So you think about a lot of players on PC probably bought Battlefield 2042
on Origin, probably.
on Origin. So yeah, I mean, there's probably say another 3,000 players on Origin or 2,000 players on Origin. I don't know, you know. So, I mean,
it's probably close to what Battlefield is, though. I mean, number-wise,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good via Steam. I mean, it has 5,000 players right now, so you can probably get in there and find a match. I played a little bit of this the other day too. You know, a couple weeks ago, whenever the fuck we talked about it, when they went free to play, I played a little bit of it, and yeah, I was able to get into matches at first, and then second time I tried to go into it, same thing like you did. You had that stupid server checklist shit that was down, and then it was just down, down, down. It just wouldn't work, and like I don't know what the deal is with this game. Like, there's times where it works fine, and there's times where it doesn't work fine, and I don't know, man.
I wonder if is that something that they do, or would they pay out, somebody to handle all the servers or whatever it is?
I have no
they have to
idea.
invest in somebody different doing it or what? But yeah,
I don't know who's running their servers, but the company sucks, whoever it is. I mean, they're doing a pretty bad job at it. I feel like that's the main issue the players are having is the server issues.
Yeah.
Like if you can't log in to play, then your game doesn't work. Like it's simply like, fuck the bugs, fuck the gameplay, fuck anything else. If no one can even log into it, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah.
That's like Battlefield 3 bad. Remember when Battlefield 3 came out like years ago on the 360, man? And like I remember like that shit was so bad for like a week or two. That game you could not log into it like whatsoever. Like they hyped up Battlefield, I think it was Battlefield 4 as well. They hyped it up so much. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to take out Call of Duty. You're fucking Battlefield. Battlefield's way better. And I was so hyped for that shit. Dude, and I go to play it. Servers are, due to the anticipated number of players, we did not anticipate this much hype for the game.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck do you mean you did? What do you mean you didn't anticipate this much demand or whatever? Like, what kind of shit is this, EA? EA they were notorious for that shit. We didn't anticipate this much demand, and we didn't have enough servers available for all the players trying to. Like, what do you mean you did not anticipate this much demand? You've been fucking marketing the shit out of this game for the last
hype it up for months, and then
yeah.
Oh, we got too many people.
Oh, we didn't anticipate this many players, guys. Sorry. What the fuck? Yeah. Nowadays, they do a little bit better job. Like, I don't think Battlefield 2042 had those issues, obviously. Like, I think they do a way better job of it now. But it's like, this game reminds me of, like, oh, we didn't anticipate this many players wanting to play a free-to-play game.
Right.
What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? Like, it's a free fucking game. That's a shooter. That's pretty good. And what do you mean didn't anticipate this many players?
Especially at a time like that game is so close to Battlefield, and it's very much different than Call of Duty, and it's like the only game kind of like it. You know what I mean? And so it's just naturally with all the bad press that Battlefield's getting, that people probably would try to migrate over. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give this game a shot, and then they
fuck it up.
Yeah,
they fuck it up. And the shitty part is for them that Call of Duty launches in a week. So
yeah. So it's probably not much recovery. This is probably their hype
really
right
do
here.
much. This is their hype, and they fucked it up. And they launched at a good time, like a month before Call of Duty is out. You go free to play. That's good. Okay, you would have been fine had your servers fucking been working.
Yeah. Now
you're screwed. Now there's no coming back, because once if people can't log in, and they just can't, and they just can't, and they just can't. Guess what people do? People are not going to try again. They'll just delete the game, give you a bad review, and go back to Battlefield or Apex or Call of Duty, and then wait for the new Call of Duty to come out and say fuck your game. Because you know what's gonna work on day one like a champ? Call of Duty.
Right.
You know, Call of Duty, day one, the moment that fucker goes live, you're in a match. There's no like, oh, we matchmaking issues. No, dude, that game just fucking works. That's something about Call of Duty I'll give them. No matter how much hype that game could have all the hype in the fucking world, Mayo. It could be the most demanded game in the world. And those motherfuckers make sure that shit works on launch. That shit is running. It is working. You're in matches. You're fucking playing with your friends. You know, you're in there day one, the moment it's on, fucking playing with your friends. It's rare that they have like a hiccup, you know, like, oh, like there is times where Call of Duty has had like a little bit of a hiccup where like all of a sudden the shit will go down real quick. But they'll get it up and running within like an hour max.
Right.
Like, and fucking fast, dude. Like those guys are on top of their shit. Any other game doesn't do it that way. Like fucking EA, they fucked up Battlefield so many times. There's so many Battlefields that have launched that were so hot. Everyone's wanting to play those motherfuckers, and they just fuck up the launch. They fucked it all up. They'll have like server issues, disconnects. They'll have server maintenance and shit. They'll have all this shit going on for them, and they'll be fucked. Call of Duty is like, no, bro. We got hacked. We're down for an hour because we got DDoSed. We're fucking back up and running, motherfucker. Okay,
right.
We're good to go right now. Let's go. You know, and I gotta give it up to Activision because they you can tell they obviously spare no expense on that shit. They're like, we gotta make our money.
Well, we gotta get their biggest moneymaker, I would have to say, by far.
Yeah, by far. It probably is, you know, compared to like, it's probably that, then League of Legends or World of Warcraft, and then all that other shit, you know?
League of Legends is probably their biggest, probably, in all honesty, but I know it's big overseas, but still on the World War III thing, you know, I opened it up on Steam and look at it, and right now in the reviews, it says most recent reviews that 32% of the reviews of the 13,000 reviewers are positive. So 68% are like negative or neutral. And then all time it's a lot better. It's like 53% are positive. But just the last 30 days, it's just got 68% negative reviews. Like, so yeah, it just shows you kind of like that's when this game went free to play. And that's when you're getting all the negative reviews, you know. So it's very unfortunate. But like I said, and I enjoy the game too. It looks good. It seemed to play well. Just that server issue just completely crushed that game.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I've been playing on my PC. I still been playing since Evan is still here. You know, he voluntarily is staying in Ohio.
Oh, he's choosing to stay there. Oh, okay.
I have a PlayStation games to finish before he leaves, so he is voluntarily staying in Ohio, and I'm just almost finished with the Ratchet and Clank. I just kind of pick it up here and there, and kind of playing it when I have some time, like when my son's over, and he pretty much when he comes over, he's on my PC, and you know, he's been playing some games here. At his mom's house, his internet's not that good, so he's looking forward to come over and jump on my computer where he has a constant internet connection. So he's over here, and he's on my PC. And
he doesn't have a fucking hobo internet connection over there.
Right. And so I've been playing in the living room while he's playing in my room on my PC. And I'm just about done. I think I'm on like one of the last like one or two missions. Jesus, I think you said you beat this game, right?
Which one?
The Rift Apart, the newest one.
Oh yeah, that game looks good. That game was fun.
It was really short. I'm enjoying it. The shooting is just so fun, and I really like the control feel in that game. I'm not a big controller player, but I like the shooting kind of. You know, it's just that run and gun kind of shoot. But I do like the controls, how it has that little click with the shooting. You know, like you feel the clicks in the controller as it's firing, and it just feels really, really nice. I do like that about that controller still. You know, like, still, I said that whole Rift thing I felt kind of gimmicky. You know, it's only in certain spots, but.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's cool.
It works.
I mean, I think I'm in a part, I'm trying to remember. It's like I'm going through some kind of like, I went into some kind of cave thing. It's like an underground, like a cavern kind of thing. And you're going through a bunch of different dimensions and stuff. And talking with Evan, because he's finished it as well, he says I'm pretty close. So I almost got that game beat, and like I said, it's felt good. All the different guns. I like there's only a couple guns I really like to use though. It's probably another thing. It's probably a drawback. It's got all these guns that are kind of creative. I wish they could have went something more like Borderlands, where they could have went kind of crazy with some like really unique kind of weapons or something. But it's your very traditional, like you have that basically like a little machine gun. It's like your normal gun. And then my other favorite gun they gave me that Jesus, I don't know if you used it much, it's like a lightning gun. It kind of like stuns everybody, and it kind of attaches them all to each other, and it kind of daisy chains, and a whole bunch of guys are stunned, so you can like freeze them all in place, so it gives you more time to move around and stuff like that. And I pretty much just used those two, just leveled those two way up, and was playing through most of the game with that. And then sometimes I would just freeze them and then switch to like the rocket launcher against bosses, stun them and then hit them with the rocket launcher a couple times. And
some of my favorite guns in that game were the one that you shoot and it shoots out little robots.
Yeah, like
little
the glove of doom and stuff. I didn't even pick that up until very late. It's like a grenade you throw, and it shows like a trajectory, and you throw it one time, and a bunch of little clanks come out of it, I think, and they're fighting for you. Yeah, so and I didn't even actually start using that until just a little bit ago, because Evan mentioned it, and I never bought it, and I'm like, oh, I just thought it was like something else, and he's like, no, you wanted to use that, and so it's like crowd control, for when it's like a whole bunch of enemies.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, okay.
Put out there. There's that one, and there's also one that forget, like you shoot out, like I forget if it's like a mushroom or like a flower or something, but like it'll put that down on the ground and that'll start shooting for you. So like what I would do is if I went into those arenas and fought in those arena things, I'd shoot out those little clank guys and I'd shoot out those mushroom things that would like shoot for me. And then I had another one that would freeze everybody.
Yeah.
So they would just like freeze everybody, so the little clanks would fuck everybody up that were frozen. And the other thing was shooting out whatever it was shooting out. And it was pretty cool, man. Like the cool thing about that game is you can chain all those like weapons pretty good. Like you can do pretty cool combos with all that stuff, and a lot of them complement each other. Like I said, once you learn how to use them with each other, you're kind of like unstoppable. Like you can really just get in there and fuck everybody up.
Yeah, I found myself switching weapons a lot, but what I did find myself doing, instead of like, I think you like tap triangle maybe, and you'd like switch to the last gun that you had. You can like kind of rotate out, like a quick switch. I found myself just using that wheel a lot. Basically, it kind of pauses the game. You pick your gun and then switch. Yeah, that seemed to be kind of the better way of doing it than the quick change. It seemed like it was more consistent, but I felt better doing that. So I don't know. I think that feature was kind of useless for me. But it kind of makes me want to, like, the part I'm at in the game, Jesus, how many people remember? So, like, a lot of the enemies are like these skeleton things that come up out of the ground now. They're like, and they're like skull, like, and they're coming at you. They die really easy, but they kind of overpower you with, like, volume. And you're kind of running by them and fighting through them and stuff. And that's kind of like part of the people I'm fighting. And there's like a big, like, T-Rex thing you fight. And, like, I had to kill, like, the big skeleton version of him. And I've done all that stuff already, but yeah, I feel like I'm getting pretty close. It kind of makes me want to go back and play Biomutant again. I bought that game on Xbox when it first came out.
That game too. I always think about that game. I had that game. It's like, do I want to go back to it?
I never finished it. My son did. He played the crap out of it, and it got me thinking about it again. And I know, I guess, the thing about Biomutant that I did not like was that narrator. You know what I'm talking about.
You can turn him off now. You can turn him off.
Yeah, so now, and I was going to say that, is that you could turn him off now because he narrated just too much. Like, it was just that same guy talking throughout that whole game all the time.
The Rinky Dink wants to go to the Clinky Clink and whatever the fuck. Is like, shut the fuck up, guy.
Yeah, when I'm playing a game, actually, like, for me, and this is just me, like, a lot of times I do not get into the story that much. I'm playing it for the fun of playing through it, Yeah. I'm not really, like, hooked on the story, so I could kind of care less about the story of that game. I'm like, and this guy's just talking and talking and talking. I'm, like, trying to skip the dialogue, and you're, like, trying to go through it. And so, having that option to where you can skip through it, it kind of makes me want to fire that game back up and kind of sit and play it after I finish Ratchet and Clank. So, I might jump into that. We'll see. That might be for when, like I said, when my son's over here playing games. have you tried Overwatch 2 yet? I know, a lot of people have been playing that game, and not my kind of game.
I really want to play it because I really did enjoy Overwatch 1. I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day when Overwatch 1, not really when it came out, but a few months after it came out, I kind of got it on a whim. And I was playing the fuck out of it. And that's when Alan Navy and them, they were all playing Paladins. And I tried Paladins and I didn't like it. Overwatch 2 was just way more polished. Paladins was the hobo version of Overwatch. I remember I used to call it
Yeah.
the hobo Overwatch. And last night I came home and because I worked swing, got off pretty late, but I came home and I heard my brother was gaming and I looked into his room or whatever, and he was playing Overwatch too, and man, it looked good. I was like, it's Overwatch. It looks just like Overwatch 1. Really, the graphics don't look much different at all. Like it's the same thing.
That's what I hear.
But
I never played the first one.
it looks the same. It literally look. You could, if you put them probably side by side, they're probably you couldn't tell the difference most likely. It looks literally the same. Same characters as well. I'm assuming they added some new ones. I don't know. I really don't know much about the game. I know you can carry your shit over, so a lot of the characters are probably still there, or they added new ones.
Yeah, I don't know either. I did hear something like once you play like 50 matches. I remember it was like on our news one time, I think, and you get like all the original characters unlocked or something like that after 50 matches.
There you go. So it's not bad.
And the matches seem to go kind of quick. It seemed like
free game. Yeah, matches don't last long. Matches, I think there's a timer on them usually for like 8 minutes or something, or 5 minutes, and the timer resets. I think when the people reach a new objective. So like there's a 5-minute timer for the first objective, and if you reach that, then it resets to like 3 more minutes, and it'll add like another minute. So like by the end of the match, you'll end up playing like a 10-minute, 15-minute match, but you'll get a lot of XP for that match, and all that goes towards your unlocks for your skins and shit. But I really do like Overwatch, so I do plan on getting this on the PC. I might even get it on my Xbox.
Well,
What I was thinking about doing is getting it on my Xbox One, so I can transfer all my stuff over from Overwatch 1, because I know the save file is probably still there. Transfer all my stuff over, get the QR code from the Xbox, and get it on my PC and log in and use the QR code.
Does it have like a cross progression? That's going to ask.
Yeah, it'll match everything up. Like
Nice.
your shit. The thing about the Xbox and the PC though, they said that they don't have like a thing like Call of Duty where it's all linked. Like you have to get some kind of QR code from your Xbox or your console or your PS5 and scan the QR code on your phone, log into your Blizzard account, link it to your PC, and then it'll fucking merge everything somehow. Which I know I have a lot of shit unlocked on my Overwatch 1. I probably don't have everything unlocked, obviously, because I didn't play the game all the way to like all the years that it was out. But I know I have some cool skins unlocked for like Diva and shit. She was like my favorite character. The one with the mech. There was also like Tracer, the character Tracer. She was pretty cool. There was a lot of other cool characters. There was a lot of cool characters in that. And there was a guy that shot the little he floated around and he shot the little orb things that would heal or attack.
Mm-hmm.
They would like heal your teammates. He was like a healer attacker guy. So he would like either heal you or attack the enemies with like these little orb things that he shot out as he floated around the air or whatever. That guy was pretty cool. There was the shield guy. There's a lot of cool characters, man.
So my son decided to start playing this, and he's always been really good at shooters, and he's never played the first one. But he's like, I want to start playing this because it's kind of popular right now, and people are talking about it and stuff like that. So he jumps in, and so I've been watching him play. He did his first 50 matches. I think you have to do 50 matches to unlock ranked, and then after that you got to get like so many wins, or like I think it's maybe 5 wins or something like that. Then it actually like puts you in a rank, and he ranked himself in platinum. So like the first time him playing the game, and still learning a lot, he ranked himself in platinum, and he was happy with that. But it just seemed like that game, it's just like it's so smooth. On PC, there's so much going on, and on my computer, it runs amazing. And I don't have like the newest hardware anymore. It's starting to get a little older. The poor old computer is actually starting to get a little older. I'm thinking about maybe doing a rebuild here soon. This 2080 Super, and this is CPU and all that stuff. But it was getting on 1080p. I can't remember what settings he had it on. He likes to run games on lower settings, but it was getting almost 500 frames, and that's just absurd, So like the game is very well optimized. So for what it is, and this and that, it's pretty crazy. Like it's just such a smooth game, and there's just so much going on, and it's way too fast paced for me. Like, and it's kind of neat how I like how they put the mix of it's almost like the shooter and the MOBA, I guess you want to call it. Where you have roles to play, where you have that tank role, you have that healer role, you have that DPS role. But the only negative thing is, I guess, too, is if you get people who don't play their roles correctly, it can really severely hurt your team. And next thing you know, it's like you're losing matches because the healer isn't healing, or your tank isn't tanking, or the tank is trying to DPS even though he's a tank, or something like that. So that can make it kind of difficult. But I think if you had a dedicated group of friends, this game could like really be a lot of fun. But I think he was using Tracer as well quite a bit, and there's a character that kind of flew around a little bit, that had like low health. It seemed like it was kind of an annoying character to try to hit and track. That he was playing against that character quite a bit too. But I'm trying to think some of the stuff that I tried to play. I messed around a little bit with a game that Gunny had recommended to me. It was called Moon Scars, and I downloaded that on my actually no, I didn't even download it. I played it on the Cloud Play on the Xbox in the living room. And this game is like a side view, kind of Dead Cells kind of game, indie game, and it just, I forgot, I didn't install it. I put it on the Cloud Play, and I started playing it, and right away I was like, I don't know what it's about this game. I felt like the controls felt like a little laggy, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm on Cloud Play. I bet that's why. For some reason, like my TV is on Wi-Fi, and every once in a while my Wi-Fi signal on my TV isn't the greatest connection, or my Xbox is on Wi-Fi, and so I was like, maybe that had something to do with it, me trying to stream and play this game, because it felt kind of floaty and like a delayed response and stuff. But I don't know, I didn't really get into it a whole lot. It didn't really, it looked really not like Dead Cells. Dead Cells has that old school 8-bit side-scrolling action, but it's actually really clean and polished looking, by design. And this actually just looked like an old Nintendo game. Like it looks so jagged on the edges and stuff, where like Dead Cells is smooth and the backgrounds look really good, and this just literally looked pretty simplified. And it could be an okay game, but it wasn't for me, and I just pretty much didn't play it a whole lot more after that. And I mean, that's pretty much Chivalry 2. I've seen that come on Game Pass. I definitely want to check that out, but I haven't had time to check that game out. I have Mordhau. I see Chivalry 2, and I think it's probably a little more popular than what Mordhau was, and I really liked Mordhau. So I ended up installing it. I just never got to it and stuff. But a game like that, I feel like it's just more fun to play with like a group or with somebody in voice and stuff, and so that's pretty much it. All I've been pretty much playing on my end. I guess Jesus had to step away for a second, so I guess I'll go ahead and actually, without Jesus here, I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the news, and when he steps back in, he can kind of jump in again. But cover news-wise, we got an insult: video game voice actors speak out to demand fair play. Performers call for better and more better treatment in the industry worth nearly $200 billion. It says underpaid, undervalued, frustrated video game voice actors are demanding change after one raised concerns over pay and explained why she had not been reprising her role in a multi-million-dollar franchise. It says now others are speaking out and calling out for better and more better treatment for actors who earn a tiny fraction of what the games make in revenue. Um, on Saturday, the actor Helena Taylor, the original voice of the lead character in the multi-million selling Bayonetta games, posted a series of videos on Twitter explaining that she was not continuing her role in the series in the third installment. She said that after being asked to re-audition for the role that she played in 2009 Bayonettas and 2014 Bayonettas 2, she was offered a $4,000 flat rate fee for the job. The games have made more than $450 million in revenue. Taylor said that she declined, and this is an insult to me. The amount of time that I took to work on my talent and everything I have given to this game and the fans, she said, asking supporters to boycott the game in solidarity with people all over the world who do not get paid properly for their talents. She said she no longer feared the consequences of speaking out. I can't even afford to run a car. What are you gonna do? Take my clothes. So she basically just saying, hey, you're already not paying me a whole lot. What are you gonna do? Pay me even less? I could probably find and work somewhere else and make more money. I mean, yeah, $4,000 flat rate to do a voice in a game. I mean, that's $4,000 can be a lot of money, but you probably, how long does that take? To do those voices and stuff like that. It's probably a lot of time, and a lot of long days, a lot of time recording in the studio. So it's probably months and months and months of work. So you're probably not even making $1,000 a month, if I had to guess. So that's just kind of crazy that this game's made $450 million, and they should get a flat rate of $4,000 for being the voice of one of the main characters or the main character. So that's just kind of unfortunate, and it says that her experience is extreme but not unique. Speaking to The Guardian, several videos, game voice actors, high-profile award-winning, they shared their frustrations about their pay conditions in the industry that was estimated worth, $200 billion. And this is, these working in the UK claim that their rates, largely set and controlled by the outsourcing companies who developed, pay to recruit their record voice talents, have not risen meaningfully in 15 years despite the game industry's enormous expansion in that time. I mean, the last 15, I mean, the gaming industry has been growing more in the last 15 years, but, I mean, yeah, these guys, I mean, especially we get so attached to our characters and stuff. I mean, 4,000 isn't much. It says some people might think that getting paid 4,000 to do a game sounds amazing. But it says John Schwab, he says, who plays Dandelion in the Witcher series of games. And he says, but the commitment it takes to get a game done, we're talking dozens and dozens of hours of recording. On top of that, the travel that nobody pays for, the agent's fees, the tax. People think you just show up to work for 2 hours and the game comes out. Absolutely not. Schwab estimated that after cost, Taylor would have cleared about half the amount that she was offered. And he said that he can sympathize with her situation. You get a few £1,000s to play a lead character, and then the video game makes $700 million. How does that make you feel when you created this role? She's the one that kind of created that character to help in a way. Famous Hollywood actors recited to provide voices for games, such as Keanu Reeves, who starred in Cyberpunk, has paid much. He was paid much more. One agent gave an example of, I think, is like 100,000 for a 4-hour recording session. I think it's like €100,000 for a recording session. Site Global, one of the outsourcing companies that provides voiceovers for video games, pays on a tiered system that the actors described as insulting and discriminatory. In the guidelines documents seen by The Guardian, the company sets out a criteria for different tiers. Tier 1, which pays $250 an hour plus a $500 buyout per job, is described. And superstars, the voiceovers and stuff, they're not. Nothing that the client budges, be able to change much of that. Jesus kind of just taking back in. Jesus, I kind of hit the first article in the news. They're talking about these underplayed voice actors, and this girl, she only was offered $4,000 for her lead role in Bayonetta, where the game made like 450 million. And she's like, the amount of hours I put in and stuff, it's just not a fair, like, what I'm getting out of this. Yeah, you're muted, I think.
Yeah, no, what I don't get though is the fact that, like, all right, you were offered that much, you rejected it, but why are you wanting people to boycott the game? I mean, at the end of the day, like, a lot of other people worked on the game, not just the voice actors.
That is true. You know, like, there's other people, you know, that's going to affect them.
Yeah, the voice actors, I mean, yeah, they do the characters of the game or whatever, but at the same time, like,
the animators, you know, and the graphic
animators,
designers, whatever.
All of them work on the game too, you know, and they got to get paid. I mean, why boycott the game just because you didn't get the fucking role? Like, okay,
or the pay or whatever that you wanted. Whatever, and I understand, yeah, 4,000 is not a lot of money for probably the work that they put in, but I don't know, like you said, and to encourage people to boycott the game, you're just hurting everybody else that worked on that game, like you said.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So I don't agree with that statement. You know, it's whatever. Like, yeah, you rejected it. That's on you, you know. And whatever, you know, like, do your thing. Like, maybe next time try to negotiate. Try to say, all right, give me this much instead, you know. Yeah.
But moving on, Jesus, McDonald's Tracer skins, huh? So what we got here? We got Overwatch 2 McDonald's promotion offers customers an epic Tracer skin. Jesus, there you go.
Yeah.
An Overwatch 2 promotion is currently available at the Australian McDonald's restaurant. Oh, this is like Australian only or what?
Yeah.
The promotion includes bespoke Overwatch 2 packaging for the meals. Jesus. And entitles customers to an epic Tracer lighting skin. Are you gonna like? We need to send Gunny over to Australia. He's our Australian expert. That's where he's actually, guys. That's where he's at right now. We didn't want to tell you. He's over there picking up
chicken meals,
Happy Meals, and he's gonna get us some codes, and we're gonna have some Tracer skins when he comes back. And that's why Jesus and I have not played Overwatch 2 yet. We've been kind of waiting. You know, we want to get this elite Tracer skin, but yeah,
it's cool though. Yeah, hopefully they bring it to more countries, but who knows? I mean, right now they're doing it in the U.S. the whole whatever, like Halloween things or whatever. So we'll see.
Interesting, but yeah, that's good times. You want that Tracer skin, I guess.
Yeah, in other news, the Callisto Protocol. So, as of recent news, I don't know if you heard this, Mail, but that a game, Gotham Knights, that just came out, will not support 60 FPS on consoles.
I have heard this.
It's only 30 FPS on the new consoles, even like the PS5 and the Series X. They're saying that
in like the performance mode, right? Like when you go to performance mode, where you've always had that kind of that option to say like 120 hertz,
there is no.
Yeah, there's no.
There is no performance mode in this. They just don't even have that performance mode. Anyways, Callisto Protocol came out on Twitter yesterday actually, and they said, we would like to inform everyone, or love to inform you all, that we will be shipping globally on December 2nd. And yes, we will have a 60 frames per second performance mode. That's awesome of them. Yeah. So they're kind of throwing shade on that game. That game looks cool, man. Callisto Protocol. Isn't these the guys that made PUBG?
I'm not sure, honestly.
I think it is them.
Bluehole was the original their name. I know they changed name a couple times. So,
developer Striking Distance Studios. I don't know who. Yeah, Bluehole is the publisher. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, Striking Distance is a studio with PUBG Corporation, which is Bluehole. So yeah, which is now called PUBG Studios, which is weird.
And what a name, right? Like, let's base our studio name off of one game that was like a hit, I guess. But it's just kind of
Well,
weird.
They probably made so much money off that one game, and they're still probably making money off that one game. There's people still playing that game a lot. But yeah, Callisto Protocol looks really good. Like, I'm not into horror games, dude, but I have to pick this up. I think it looks really cool.
Nice. I was actually talking to Gunny about that. We were talking about Scorn coming out, and I'm just not really into horror games either. But like the one horror game I will play, he said the same exact thing as like Resident Evil for some reason. I don't know if it's because there's a more mix of action or whatever or not, but I'm just not into the like horror genre. So it's just
I hate
really,
jump
really
scares, man. I fucking hate that shit.
I don't mind that kind of stuff. Like I'm completely fine with it. Like I don't watch horror movies. I don't really play like horror type games. I don't know why. It's something I don't get into. Like I don't know. They don't even bother me at all or anything like that. I just don't do them. Like I even like, you know, it really like this time of year, but I'm assuming it's the same way everywhere in the country, but like because of Halloween, there's a lot of haunted houses here in Ohio. And they do there's some big events and stuff like that, and people get all excited to go to them, and I'm like, I kind of care less, you know. I'm like, there's a really big one by me, and it seems cool, like the idea is cool, but yeah, I mean, there's some really big one in Columbus. I see, like, it's even advertised on TikTok. I can't remember. It's like something in downtown Columbus, it's like Fear Factory or something like that. It's supposed to be like really good, like Hollywood animation type stuff going on. And I'm actually kind of curious now what it was called, because
they do that here in Oregon too. In Portland, they got like Fear Factory, Fear Street, Fear some shit. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm not a big like horror movies for me, man. It's kind of weird. They don't really ever scare me. I don't know. Because in my head, I know it's a movie, and I'm like, this is not real. So, like, my head is triggered. Like, literally, like, I can watch a horror film, and I'm like, whatever. Like, this is kind of like, whatever. You know what actually scares me? Like, a lot more than a horror film is, like, sometimes, like, those thriller films, like shit where people get kidnapped and shit, because I'm like, that can really happen.
Like the psychological thrillers, or like...
yeah, I'm like, that can really fucking happen. Like, I could be out driving in the road one night, and some motherfucker cuts me off and crashes into me or something, and I have to stop. Right. And next thing you know, they're coming out with guns and kidnapping me and taking me to the woods somewhere in the shed and cutting my arms off or something. Like, that can happen, motherfucker. You know, living out here in Oregon, there's a lot of fucking back roads and shit I drive on sometimes, and I'm back there and I'm like, man, there's nobody. I haven't seen a car for like 30 minutes. That means that if my car breaks down out here, I better have cell phone service or I'm fucked.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one, I haven't seen a cop for miles. I haven't seen no other car.
Could you imagine, Jesus, back in the days before we had cell phones? You go back
like 30, what do you do?
Years. Like, go back 30 years.
Yeah, like you're just broken down on a fucking highway in the middle of nowhere. And back then it was probably even more like scarce, you know, like less people on the roads and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I could not imagine. I would be scared as fuck, dude. I would be like, holy fucking shit, what do you do? Think about it. You're in the middle, because this happened to me, remember? I've texted you a few times where I'm stuck out in the gravel road. My fucking car I ran into a ditch because I was stupid. I wasn't paying attention or something. I mean, that happened to me this year, right? Remember, It was like 1 a.m. I'm out there driving. I ran into a ditch on this gravel road in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, bro, I just had to call a tow truck, and I'm waiting out here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you were like,
can you imagine?
Like, I can't remember what it was.
You imagine? Yeah, I'm like, I was out in the middle of nowhere, literally, and I ran into a ditch, and I couldn't get out. Like, luckily, I had cell phone service where I could call the tow truck, call my insurance, and fucking like ping my location and text it to the driver and say, hey, bro, I'm like right here. Like, this is my location. Just drive to this point. And he was able to get there. But can you imagine if I did not have a cell phone? Like, what would I have done in that situation? Walk like miles to the main highway and hopefully a car drives by that'll stop for me in the middle of the night?
Right.
Like, no way, dude. Like, no fucking way. So yeah, that's more scary to me than whatever the fuck is this, like horror movies and shit. Um, but yeah, I don't know. This game looks kind of cool. It looks like an action game. It looks kind of cool to me. Uh, but yeah, as we're on here in the morning, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 launch. It's coming. That comes next week. This is the roadmap, Mayo. I got a roadmap for you.
Okay, good.
So hold on here.
My link's not working, actually, unfortunately. Oh, there it goes. Oh, boom, look at that. Okay.
Okay, so Modern Warfare 2, the campaign early access preload begins today, October 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific time on all platforms. So you can preload right now. Well, actually, yeah, right now.
Yep.
The early access for the campaign begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time on all platforms. You can preload the full game starting today on Xbox at 10 a.m. Today on PlayStation at 4 a.m. And on PC, October 26th at 10 a.m.
Gotta wait a week.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2 preseason is October 28th to November 15th. Warzone 2.0, the DMZ and the Battle Royale modes will launch alongside Modern Warfare 2 Season 1. That comes November 16th. Season 1 Reloaded introduces raids. That comes December 16th. So, this is obviously going to come with the campaign. This is the next chapter of the Modern Warfare story, Mayo, continuing the story from Modern Warfare in 2019. This is obviously going to have multiplayer, 12 unique modes at launch, 10 traditional modes, and 2 ground war modes on Battle Map Special. It's going to have Special Ops, 3 missions at launch, all taking place on Al-Mazrah. Al-Mazrah? Whatever the fuck, is like a fictional country they made up. There's so some of what's shared across Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer Spec Ops Warzone 2.0 when it launches includes 25 operators at launch, 18 can be unlocked during the Modern Warfare preseason, more than 30 weapon platforms at launch for more than 50 unique weapons. Vault owners will gain access to the FJX Cinder Vault weapon, and gameplay mechanics shared between all games within the Modern Warfare 2 universe. It's going to have Ricochet anti-cheat, which is a new anti-cheat system they're moving to from whatever they're using now. They're saying that it's going to be better, supposedly, for anti-cheat. Twitch drops will begin October 28th through November 5th, and there will be COD shop gear. That's right.
Oh, look at that. Gotta make that money.
That's right. Let's look here. For the PC, official requirements for the PC are... Dun, dun, dun. To play, minimum, you will need an Intel Core i3, Core i5, or AMD Ryzen 3. You need at least 8 gigs of RAM, 72 gigs of free space on your hard drive, and for your high-res assets cache, you will need 32 gigs. You will need a GTX 3 or 960 or an AMD Radeon RX 470 graphics card with at least 2 gigs of video memory. And the recommended is, of course, a GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon RX 580 with 4 gigs of video RAM. And Intel Core i5 or AMD Ryzen 5. For the competitive, they say, you need an Intel Core i7 or an AMD Ryzen 7 1800X, 16 gigs of RAM, 72 gigs at launch with free space, 32 gigs of high-res cache, and you need a 3060 Ti or an AMD Radeon RX 570 or 5700 XT with 8 gigs of video RAM. To play this game at Ultra 4K, you need an Intel Core i9 9900K or a Ryzen 9 3900X, 16 gigs of RAM, up to 64 gigs of high-res assets cache. You need an RTX 3080 or higher with an AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT with 16 gigs of video memory. So these are all the specs for it. So there's that. Most people will be able to play this game pretty well. I mean, on the beta, I didn't have any issues myself playing it.
Yeah, it ran really well on my PC, but we pretty much had the same graphics card
Yeah.
setup. But when Evan was playing here quite a bit, he bought the game, so he was playing it, and it looked like it ran pretty good. I can't remember what the frame rate was, but it was running pretty smooth, and it looked really good.
Yeah. I'm so hyped for that game, dude. I'm gonna download right now if we're done, and I'm gonna fucking play the fuck out of this tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm gonna play the campaign so much.
Yeah, I should actually pick it up because I kind of planned on picking it up, but I haven't yet.
I bought the Vault Edition. I knew I was gonna play the fuck out of it. I'm like, I might as well just buy the $100 version. I'm gonna play the fuck out of this game anyways. Anyways, A Plague Tale Requiem is out. There is a new Game Plus mode in this game.
Oh, nice.
So,
I don't know if I'd play it twice, but yeah.
Contrary to the first game, A Plague Tale Requiem does have a new Game Plus mode that is unlocked once you complete it on any difficulty level, man. New Game Plus in this game is similar to many other New Game Plus in other games. You get to keep all your collectibles, your codex items you found on your first playthrough, as well as all your upgrades and your skills you've unlocked. However, unlike a lot of other titles, this mode is locked to the new Ultimate difficulty level, which is also unlocked after you complete the game for the first time. That means that you will not be able to play on any lower difficulties, and with the new difficulty level, players will find a higher level of challenges with enemies that are smarter and deal more damage. They can detect players a lot more easily, and it only takes about 2 hits for the players to die. So there's that.
I mean, that game is so, the original one is a lot, it's a lot of stealth. And and I'm not been a fan of stealth games. That's the crazy thing. It just kind of touched me. Like, this game was so good, the first one. I just fell in love with it. I don't even like stealth games. It's so weird. Like, I
never finished the first one. How long is the first one?
It's not very long at all. It didn't take me long to beat it. What is the time to beat? I'm gonna try to look it up because I thought it was really short. I want to say 8 hours. I want to say. I'm not. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. But
that's 15 to 20 hours.
Was it? Wow. Okay. The new one or the first one? The first one.
The first. Oh no, this is the new one.
Okay. No, Plague Tale Innocence main story is 10.5 hours.
Okay, there you go.
No, not horrible.
No, not terrible at all.
I enjoyed my playthrough because it does kind of change up. You have like 2 main characters, and each character kind of plays a little different, so it kind of goes back and forth. So it has its moments. It's got a lot of puzzle stuff in it. That's probably the only drawback. I'm not big into puzzles things either. But again, for some reason, I really stuck with that game, and I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was really interesting with the rats and everything, kind of like a dark feel to it and stuff, and you kept getting more and more powerful as you go. So I'm anxious to play the new one, though. It's been a while. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that maybe I'm not as excited about it. Like, I really, really enjoyed the first one, but it's been a while now. I kind of forgot what some of the story was and what things, like how things worked. But I'm sure it'll kind of come back to me when I jump back in.
In other news, we're taking a look now at the DualSense. Okay, this is a new controller, Mayo.
Always the new controllers.
The DualSense Edge. This is the new controller from PlayStation, available for pre-order now, releasing early next year. You can buy the DualSense Edge for $200, $199.99. Microsoft's Elite Core controller costs $130. You can buy the controller and the case for $180. Says here, pretty much the buttons are remappable on both controllers, and they both have a quick swap features for the profiles you set. The DualSense Edge will let you adjust your stick sensitivity, stick dead zones, and trigger dead zones on top of vibration intensity. You also get the same features with the Elite controller, and so you can customize those via the Xbox controller app on your PC. Both controllers will come with 3 options for the trigger locks, and they're placed on the same position in both controllers. You can have a short pull, or medium, or like longer pull or whatever. Xbox offers the option to adjust the tension of the thumbsticks, which isn't available on the PlayStation offering. On the other hand, the DualSense will let you replace the whole stick module, which means that drifting or damaged stick won't be a massive problem because you could just replace it. Another sizable difference is that the DualSense Edge only has 2 mappable buttons on the back, while the Elite has 4 paddles. And so there's that. And yeah. So $199.99.
I'm still one of these guys that doesn't have one of these Elite controllers or whatever. And I see them and I'm like, man, I should just get one. But then I look at the price.
I need a new one.
I'm like, I just feel like I know it's not expensive, but I feel like it is sometimes. I like, $179 for the full version. I'm like,
let me tell you something, Mayo. This controller,
but it feels good.
Best controller I've ever had. Like this metal one, when I play with this one on my PC, it feels good. It feels like metal. And it's heavy. It's premium shit. I go to my Xbox in my bedroom and pick up that flimsy ass hobo
plastic,
ass.
You can feel
plastic trash fucking controller. I want to throw that shit out the window. I want to flush it down the toilet. It's a hobo ass controller. Get an Elite. Be a man. Get an Elite, man.
Yeah, I need to.
I bet you hopefully the DualSense Edge or whatever, hopefully it's made out of metal. Because if it's made out of plastic,
it won't feel as well.
That's some hobo shit. But if it's made out of fucking metal, it'll feel good. Oh, man. Oh, that'll feel so good. So good in your hand. Big metal controller like a man.
That's right.
Yeah. In other news, the Meta Quest Pro is coming, Mayo.
Okay.
Priced at $1,499. $1,499.
That's all. Sure. Okay.
Okay.
What are we getting? What are we getting for this?
Let me tell you. You're getting some
almost $1,500.
You're getting high performance hardware with great hardware, 10 advanced VR and MR sensors, spatial audio, 256 gigs of storage, 12 gigs of RAM, and a Snapdragon XR2 Plus processor that delivers 50% more power for better performance, Mayo.
Well, I hear Snapdragon right away. I just think of cell phone power. And then 250 gig does not sound that big to me.
Listen.
You can't put Call of Duty on it. I know it's not a game for Call of Duty, but...
Listen, next-gen optics. You'll immediately notice better visual quality. They've slimmed down the optical stack by over 40%, Mayo, compared to the Quest 2, using their innovative, patented pancake lens and optics technology, which works by folding light inside the optical module, Mayo. Advanced VR LCD display technology that provides 30% greater percent of pixels per inch and a 1.3 times larger color gamut that provides more vibrant colors to deliver more engaging VR experiences. That's a lot of big words.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Good job reading that, Jesus.
Includes 3 cameras and their controllers and a Snapdragon 662 mobile processor per controller, Mayo, for 360-degree range of motion in your virtual space through touch haptic feedback and precision pinch create a more intuitive VR feel. Up to 8 hours of controller battery life. Battery life will vary by your usage. And it says here, full color mixed reality with resolution 4 times higher compared to the Quest 2 will let you work, create, and collaborate in the virtual world while staying present in the physical world, Mayo. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This comes with a companion charging dock with a rapid USB-C power adapter, which will keep your headset and controllers charged. So when creativity strikes, you'll be ready to bring your ideas to life. MetaQuest Pro can also be charged while using it with the 2-meter charging cable and a cable clip included with each MetaQuest Pro. That's right. Okay, and let's go to the frequently asked questions. What are your requirements to use the MetaQuest Pro, you may ask, Mel? Well, you will need a Meta account, which lets you separate your VR profile from other social profiles, allowing you to maintain any gamer tag and persona you like to bring with you to VR. You will need the MetaQuest mobile app for this. You need at least Apple iOS 10 Plus or Android 5.0 Plus. And let's see here. Additional launch accessories for purchase. You can also buy the MetaQuest Pro compact charging dock, or the MetaQuest Pro VR earphones, or the in-case carry case for MetaQuest Pro. Purchasing the MetaQuest Pro. You can purchase it in different retailers. Anyways, what the fuck is MetaQuest Pro? Are you excited? Are you excited for MetaQuest Pro?
No, I'm not, honestly.
Let me read an article here that says this guy tried the MetaQuest Pro, Mayo, and he saw the best of the metaverse.
Is he going to excite me? Okay.
Okay.
All right, what we got?
Yes. So let's see here. No, this is a pretty boring article.
I mean,
I'm looking at it.
I don't know. I don't know if I can get excited about VR. Like, VR is so weird to me. I don't get it, and I don't understand myself for it, because it's like when I'm in it and I'm playing it, and we've all said this, it's fun. We're like, why don't I do this shit more often? But the getting into it.
Getting into it is dude. I have mine. Literally,
it's like a block.
It's been sitting here for months, and I don't use it.
Right, I'm the same way.
I don't use it because I don't want to use it. I'm like, I don't want to plug this fucker in. I don't want to charge the controller batteries.
Yep,
I don't want to.
Literally,
my batteries are probably
6 feet from me, sitting there in an open box.
Yeah, yep, mine too. It's over there on the fucking shelf, just sitting there.
I have batteries in it. They're charged. They're ready to go. I just got to plug it into the back of my computer. That's all I got to do.
I don't want to play Half-Life, Alex. I don't want to play nothing on there. There's nothing that I want to play on there at all. And like every time that I've launched it is the same games on the fucking Oculus store that have been there since day one.
Right.
With a few exceptions of a few new ones. And I don't know who's playing this shit. Like, who's playing Pavlov VR?
Who was playing that in our community? There was was it Porkchop Who? I think it was Porkchop Who was playing a lot of Pavlov VR. He was really enjoying it. I don't know if he does anymore.
Who's playing anything in VR? There's like that Battle Royale game. There's a whole Battle Royale game in VR. I don't know anyone who's playing it.
Yeah, me either.
I mean, you think World War III is dead. Those games are fucking dead. Like, the only cool experiences in VR are solo games by yourself. And like, do you really want to do all that? Like, it's work. Okay, listen. Playing in VR is work, man. That's the hard part about it.
That is.
You are, because you're literally moving around in the world. You're literally moving your arms. It's like work. You're like legit picking up the guns, picking up the weapons, moving around your arms everywhere. It's like you're actually there moving around, sorta, with the little weird, like, it's kind of gimmicky. Sometimes it's kind of weird.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes it works. But it's like you're actually there, and it's actually like work, man. Like, you got to move your head around. When you're playing a game, you're just kind of just chilling. You know, you're looking at the screen. You're just chilling. You're like, oh, I'm kicking back on mouse and keyboard or with my controller or whatever, playing this game. It's fun. It's easy. But no, like, when you're fucking, like, in VR, it's like, no, bro, you got to reach for that grenade. You got to, like, find it on your body, reach for it, grab it.
Throw it.
When you got to reload your gun, you got to fucking, like, find where your stupid fucking magazine is. All right, now you got to, like, press the little thing, you take the other one out, put the new one in, cock the gun back. Like, oh, man, like, it's so much work. It's so much work.
Yeah. I feel like they go too much in the immersion. They just need something that's just straight up, like...
I can't press X and just, like, reload. Like, no, you got to do all this extra shit to get in here.
I just feel like the games that have been best have been, you steal your Beat Saber, a couple racing games, your Tetris Effect, those games kind of have been out for a while, but there hasn't really been. I really liked a couple of the like the platformers. What was it, like Moss and a couple of those games?
Astrobot.
I did not play Astrobot, but like Moss and those were really good. I know Astrobot was very popular on the PlayStation.
Astrobot was
VR.
Cool as fuck. That shit was cool as fuck.
And I don't think, and we've said, a lot of people have said it and they know, but like if Nintendo would come out with something like that, maybe that shit would take off.
Give me Mario VR,
yeah,
bro.
Mario VR is just like gold. And,
I'm in it, motherfucker. Give me Mario VR. I'm running around as Mario, platforming, and like I could look around the map and like move my head around to see like maybe I could make him jump over here, or like there's a secret area over here.
Can you imagine how they've always been so good about their secret areas and creativity.
Oh, you could find some cool like secret areas by moving your head around or whatever, like looking around the thing. Like give me Mario and like you could even do it to where you have him like in the front view, like a side view, and then you can like stand up and look over the map and like see the back of the map and like, there's a hidden area over here. I could make him jump over here and get over here somehow.
It's like looking down like a giant like play set, like a toy train set. Like you're looking down, you're seeing the world, and you could people at Nintendo have to be thinking of that. You know what I mean? And it's so weird that they haven't gone that direction at all. I just feel like it seems so obvious.
It's just Nintendo. Nintendo is so Nintendo. They're like, no, we cannot let Mario be on anything else. Like, it has to be ours. If we let it go on Steam,
but why don't they
we're losing
one? You know what I mean? Why don't they make their own? Because it just seems like it's such a good idea.
They could. And you know it would sell like a motherfucker if they made a VR. They sell anything. Those fuckers can make anything and they'll sell it. They sold fucking cardboard for crying out loud. I mean,
are they scared because the Virtual Boy was such a fucking flop? Are they like scared to do one again because that thing died?
Those guys could sell anything and they'll make money, so they could fucking legit make one. And be like, this thing costs $400, and people would fucking buy it. People would be like,
look, they were selling us cardboard, Jesus. They were selling us cardboard kits that we attached strings to and played a game, and people bought that. But yeah, they're like, oh no, we can't make a VR game. We don't want to do VR Mario.
People bought that fucking ring thing to like work out. People will buy dumb shit for Nintendo. And listen, Nintendo can sell you anything, man. They could sell you a fucking TV if it has Mario in it. And people would buy that TV.
But we can dog on Nintendo sometimes, but the things that Nintendo does sometimes, they actually kind of go out there. Look at the Mario Kart. I actually seen it the other day in a store, that Mario Kart Homefront. Remember, it come with a little radio controlled car, and it gives you like a view on their TV like of that car because it has a camera and stuff in it. They had that on clearance for like $60. It was normally like $100. I thought about picking it up, actually. I was kind of like, maybe I should just pick that up.
Can you set up like a virtual track in your house or something?
Yeah, you set up like a track in your house, and it like shows it on your screen and stuff. It looked actually kind of like it was a cool idea. They come up with cool ideas and things like that. Not necessarily for everybody, but like I said, that Labo, that step where there's all in the cardboard box where you build your own VR little thing, and they had that little backpack thing, and it had like strings connected to it, so when you moved your arm, it did one thing, and it did this and that. Like that shit was kind of cool and creative. But yet, we're not gonna make a VR Mario. We don't want to do that.
No.
We know the world wants that shit.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think people will go nuts if I was a VR company, or if I really wanted to push, like if I was like Facebook, I would be all over Nintendo. I'd be like, come on, let's work together and get this done. Could you imagine if Meta?
That's what they need. They need something like that, yeah.
And Nintendo didn't even have to do anything except for like help license it and stuff like that, and they started making like a Mario VR game. That shit would just propel Meta. People would be buying. People wouldn't care then,
it's $1,500. It's cheap.
I got 6 of them for my 5 kids at home.
Oh, that's cheap. That's a fucking value right there.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I just feel like it needs to happen. I don't know why.
I agree with you. They really need to make a VR platform game like a Mario, just a Mario. Even VR like Mario Kart would be sick as fuck. Can you imagine being inside the little Mario Kart thing and like being able to like grab the shells and throw them at people as you're driving by them?
Or as you're driving, you see a shell flying at you. You're like, oh, whoa. Kind of
No, like you grab the bananas and like throw them out. Like, fuck you,
and
throw the banana
you're
out.
racing and you see those giant, what do they call them, like thwomps, and things that drop down from the sky.
Yeah.
And they like smash you. You're driving underneath it. You're like, oh shit, don't smash me. Like that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. That Mario Kart VR would be sick.
Or a big thing of fire, like a fire rings that you kind of gotta avoid.
Yeah.
You see this big ball of fire coming at you, and you gotta like steer around it. That'd be nuts.
A Mario Zelda would be cool as fuck too, like sword fight. Like think about it. All he does is use this stupid little shield and sword shit.
Right.
Run around fucking, as Link running around the dungeons and like platforming and shit and like, I don't know, fighting things with your fucking sword and your little shield. And
Yeah, it's crazy. It just...
why haven't they done this? Come on,
Metroid.
Nintendo.
You could do a VR shooter in Metroid. Like...
Yeah, you're the fucking running around with your suit and you're fucking shooting
Samus,
shit.
right. You could have like a HUD. So like in your VR, you would see like stuff on the side of your HUD. And you could do like visual effects, like, like how what was that one old Metroid game that was really popular? I never played. I can't remember. It was like one of the first more 3D ones. I can't think of the name. I never played it, but it was really, really good. Oh, gosh. I don't know if you're looking it up over there, but there was a Metroid game.
There's a lot of Metroid games.
Yes, I know this. It wasn't side scroll like the old traditional like first couple of Metroids, but they went with like a 3D shooter one, and I want to say it was for like the GameCube, but
Metroid
anyhow,
Prime.
maybe it was Prime. But
Just came out in 2002.
Yeah, but you could do something like that. If you could do like a 3D world Metroid game, that'd be a shooter. It'd be kind of fun. So I don't know.
They do a lot of cool shit. Nintendo can do a lot of cool shit, and people would buy it because it has Nintendo's name on it. That's it.
Pokemon, a VR Pokemon game. Could you imagine like walking around an environment and finding Pokemon? Like
I want to catch a motherfucking Pikachu in VR, bitch.
Screw Pokemon VR. Screw walking around in public because it's cold outside right now. It's winter.
Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is trash.
Ohio winter. Screw that.
Let me strap on my MetaQuest and run around the streets.
Yeah.
Wearing my MetaQuest.
In a made-up Pokemon world. Could you imagine walking around the Pokemon worlds? These people that are hardcore Pokemon people, they would. Them games are
walking
expensive.
Into like
people
having like a big ass battle in like a big ass gym stadium and like. Being able to like be in this big stadium and you got all these people fucking yelling and cheering for you and shit, and you're like in there with your big ass Charizard and shit about to fuck up a fucking Blastoise or whatever.
That'd be cool. You have like a little menu system, and you'd have like a giant virtual Pikachu beside you or whatever.
Yeah,
and you can see like the effects. That'd be awesome. Nintendo.
I want Pokemon VR now.
We should get some resumes
Pokemon
together,
Go.
Jesus, and start messaging
I'm
Nintendo.
gonna go work for Nintendo and start making VR. I'm gonna be the executive producer for the new fucking Pokemon VR game.
That would be lit. I mean, it really would.
What have you worked on before, Jesus? Nothing.
Right.
I did a video game podcast, and now I'm making Pokemon VR, bitch. We're making it happen. That would be sick, though.
The guys at Nintendo would be like, "Oh, yes, Jesus, we never thought of that." you know that.
Pokemon VR would be like the fucking coolest thing ever, dude. They wouldn't even need to sell anything. They could just make a Pokemon VR headset. Be like, all this thing runs is Pokemon VR.
Right.
This is it. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything else, guys. It's just the Pokemon VR headset, and they would sell a billion of those fucking things.
You're onto something, Jesus. You know why? Because that is so Nintendo. They could just sell one of each. They could be like Pokemon VR, Mario Kart VR, Mario VR. You just have to buy a new unit every time. And they would sell it. That's the crazy thing.
Just buy a new one every time. All right, motherfucker. You want to play Mario Kart? You got to buy the new one.
Next Christmas, it would be like top selling consoles. Mario Kart VR, Mario VR, Pokemon VR, PS5, Xbox, and then the Switch. That's what it would be, too. Like, it would be nuts. And people would be fighting for them,
People would. I'd punch a little kid for a Pokemon VR headset. I'm just saying.
You would. I could see you doing it. You'd be like, give me that shit. Like, you would straight up 300 just kick them. You just be like,
drop kick that little fucker to give me that VR headset, bro. Like I'm doing it. Like Pokemon VR would be sick. I know Evan would too. I know he's a Pokemon.
oh
fan.
yeah.
Evan will be out there drop kicking little kids too.
He actually, I probably speak for Evan a little bit. I was just talking to him. He yesterday he finally got all the Pokemons. I don't know, but like in the Pokédex. I'm not sure like how that works. If it's just that one game or whatever. But he finally got the last ones he needed. He's excited. So he has everything. I think
he's a Pokemon master now.
He is now the Elden Pokemon Lord, or whatever we want to call it. We're gonna mix it with Elden Ring over there for Bill. But so Evan, he's gonna have some kind of title here soon. I can feel it coming that he's gonna be the new Pokemon Lord. So all things Pokemon, we're going to ask Shirt Pockets.
Nice. Well, like I said, they could do it. They should do it. That would be cool as fuck. A Pokemon VR game would be lit, dude. I'd be all on that.
Even like you said, even like the Mario Kart. Like the Mario Kart actually sounds like a really fun idea too. Like I said, that'd be kind of surreal with the big things falling down on you and trying to avoid stuff, a shell flying at you and stuff like that. It just sounds like it'd be a good idea. I mean, them games seem prime. Them games seem prime for it. Like all their games, they're big titles. Like you said, the Zelda even seems prime for it.
And it doesn't seem like you would need like that much of like big hardware to run that shit. Like you don't need a 4090 Ti to run fucking Mario Kart. Like make that shit cartoony. All right, no one's gonna give a fuck.
Yeah, well, everybody probably expects it. Really, I mean.
No one expects it to be hyper realistic graphics. Just make it cartoony as fuck and fun, and that's all that matters, dude. Like that's literally it. Like that's all that matters. I mean, just make it cartoony and fun. Fun is what matters more than graphics. Is fun, dude. I think developers are forgetting that these days. Like for example, look at Gotham Knights. Like I feel like a lot of these developers are pushing graphics a lot, and they don't know how to optimize their game. They forget that a lot of games don't really need to look that great. We're kind of... I feel like we reached an expectation that we could be happy with, like when we got Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
Or, like think about Red Dead Redemption 2. If it came out today, would we be sitting here talking about, oh, that game looks like trash. Oh, that game doesn't look good enough. It doesn't look like a 20... Fuck no, that game still beats games today that come out. That game still looks better in details, and the little fine details they put in that game still looks better than some games that are coming out nowadays. I mean, look at Saints Row, that new Saints Row that came out. That shit looks like a 360 game.
Yeah, that's what
compare that to Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, just think about that. Now, so it looks like we've reached the almost like the peak of graphics, and it seems like developers are trying to push it more and more and more. But it's like, no, all right, fuck that. Like, make your games fun.
Right.
Look at Cyberpunk.
I feel that's what we lost in some games. It's like,
like
when I was
don't know how to do it.
and getting into these Nintendo games back in the day, everything felt fun and original and fresh. Stuff doesn't feel fresh anymore. It just feels like, oh, this is a rehash of this game, or this is kind of like this game. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just because I've been around the block and played so many types of games, and it's not where you used to it, Jesus. But like, it's another 3D open world game. Like I guess I could say the same thing for Batman. The new Batman looks really good. But I played all the other Batmans. How much different is it going to be?
Well, this one doesn't have Batman in it. It's Awesome Knight.
It's got the is it like Nightwing?
Batman. Apparently, Batman dies in that game. Like he got killed somehow, and now all the other superheroes have to run around Gotham fucking people up.
So, I mean, that game looks good, but it's the same kind of concept as the other Batman games, I think, right? So it's like there's no originality there, really. Maybe they'll tweak some things here and there, but like you said, graphics, it's all about ray tracing now. And ray tracing is cool, but it's just like a thing, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily like something I'm looking for in a game. It's a nice little side.
You remember when you remember when HDR was the rage? When HDR was the next thing? Like back in like 2015, 2014 when HDR started coming out on games, and like TV started using HDR, and people were like, "Oh my god, HDR changes everything. HDR is the like, dude, who the fuck cares? Like, I really don't give a fuck." You know what I mean? Like, I have HDR on my monitor and on my TVs, and it's like, yeah, the colors look better, but like, Does it really change much? You know, like ray tracing makes games look more realistic because the lighting looks more real or whatever. But like, really in Cyberpunk, if I turn it on and off, I'm like, whatever. The game still looks fucking good without it on.
And play it a little bit without it off. You're like, this game looks good. You know, you don't even realize, you don't care.
Yeah, like the game doesn't need it. Yeah, so well, who knows? I know Cyberpunk right now is like the one game that like no graphics card can run really good. Even like I'm talking like they're even saying like 4090s, dude. They still can't run Cyberpunk at like max 4K settings and shit. Like getting, you know, solid like frame rates, like really good frame rates. They just can't. Like that game is like the new Crysis.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll see whenever the fuck they optimize it enough. And like they even recently Cyberpunk pushed out a new update that adds even like more ray tracing to the game or whatever. And like apparently that really is like impossible to run on like some cards. Like me, dude, like playing Cyberpunk, I try to fuck around and turn on ray tracing. But my shit on certain
I know,
like,
right?
Like it would run like at 40 frames maybe 35. When it would go into a cutscene when shit was wild and cutscenes were going, no, dude, that shit would like, it's like a slideshow. It was like 20 frames, 15 frames. I'm like, Jesus, dude, like this is insane. Like this is terrible. What the fuck is going on? So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Last piece of news, meta news, some more meta news for the metaverse. So, metaverse is still a thing, Mayo. It's supposed to be the hype of the new gaming world or whatever, right? VR metaverse world.
Right.
Well, unfortunately for this new vision of Meta and their metaverse, internal documents featured by the Wall Street Journal show disappointing results, with users and the overall gaming community not showing as much interest as Mark Zuckerberg had intentionally expected. It says here the report mostly discusses the statistics of Meta's flagship metaverse application, Horizon Worlds. The major takeaways are that Meta's flagship metaverse, Horizon Worlds, is toiling hard to attract less than half of the targeted monthly users, as revealed by internal documents. According to the report, most players do not even visit the app after 1 month. Most user-created worlds are either barren or they never even visited. Less than 1% ever even create a world in the metaverse. The company has lost over $700 billion in market value since its pinnacle in September of 2021. Wow, that's a lot of money, dude. As per the internal documents, Meta originally set an objective of accumulating 500,000 monthly active users for Horizon Worlds by the end of this year, Mayo. However, in a few weeks, the numbers seem to have dropped all the way down to 280,000 monthly users. The documents reveal that the current total was less than half the target, a mere 200,000 monthly active users. Overall, the player count has been plunging since spring of this year. Horizon Worlds has been struggling to attract and retain their users. Players do not revisit the application again after the first month. More than half of the purchased Quest headsets are also no longer used after 6 months of usage.
We were just talking about that, like us, you know, we don't use them. We fit right in, don't we?
Yeah, we are part of the statistics here. Most of Horizon Worlds' user-created worlds are mostly barren of users. Internal statistics in the document also unveiled that only 9% of the virtual worlds built by the community are even visited by 50 or more people. Moreover, only less than 1% of players contribute to building user-created worlds. Most of the worlds never receive any users at all, leaving them desolate and barren of any sign of life. Horizon World also does not appear to have worked out for professional purposes. When it comes to interactions, users do not take the things seriously, and they often harass other people that are trying to work. Wow. The document cites a female journal reporter visited one of Horizon's most popular virtual worlds, the Soapstone Comedy Club. It had about 20 users in it, all appearing as avatars. When the reporter introduced herself and tried to conduct an interview with the small group, one user replied, quote, "You can report on me, baby."
Wow.
It continues. The same user then asked her to expose herself. One user who was flirting with the woman in the crowd was interrupted by what appeared to be his real-life girlfriend, yelling stuff at him in the background.
He was like one of those PlayStation controllers where it's like a mic and he didn't realize it was on. You know?
He's in VR trying to hit on a girl, and his girlfriend's in the real world. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking dumbass? The metaverse is also not lucrative like all other social media. It doesn't allow for opportunities to pursue brand endorsements, among other options like Meta's Instagram and TikTok. However, Meta funds some of the worlds with support payments, but it is not viable when the active user base is low. Virtual worlds are not the reason for the failure of Horizon Worlds, evident by the success of VR in the general area of gaming. The hard access, lack of features, and objectives appear to be a downfall for it. The metaverse appears to have adhered to a steep decline, but it does not necessarily mean it will stay that way in the future. Future updates and more features may just end up putting Horizon Worlds back in the limelight. However, a lot of enhancements need to be made for such a scenario. The company has already lost over $700 billion in market value since its apex in September of 2021. And yeah, so there's that. I mean, that's insane numbers. So they've lost $700 billion in a year, Mayo. And like, how much more money do you think Facebook or Meta or whatever is going to pump into this shit? Like,
yeah, they can't pump too much more, do you think? Because
like,
I don't feel...
Like, at what point is Mark Zuckerberg going to be like, all right, bro, we put in like $2 billion into this shit. Like, okay, we can't do this no more. Like no one's taking this seriously. Like, companies aren't using this to work.
We're not getting any hype. We're not. The people.
Nobody's in the metaverse. No one's in the metaverse. The metaverse is like right now, me and you could go in the metaverse, Mayo, and probably be metaverse gods because we could just build all the metaverse worlds. And when the metaverse takes off, we'll be billionaires because we'll have all the metaverse worlds.
Right. What
you know what? Maybe we should do that.
What, it was like virtual land? When people like selling like virtual real estate or something like that? Like, we can go in there, Jesus, right now is the time to buy.
And we go in there, we'll buy all the worlds, and then we'll just
And then we're gonna make a bunch of money, Jesus. We're gonna then go buy Nintendo, and we're gonna make a real VR headset and sell Nintendo games.
Our ultimate goal is to just buy Nintendo out.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So we can get VR Pokemon.
Just for one, like the one thing we want is VR Pokemon. We do all this shit just to get that. It's just crazy to me. Like that's a lot of money they're losing, and it seems like they don't have a lot of people staying active. I mean, they say even after 1 month, users don't log back into the game. Like, well, is it a game or is it a world? Whatever it is, like they don't log back into it. Yeah. So, I mean, that seems like almost like a failure to me. People would say it's a failure, but I guess they're putting money into it. And the new Pro headset is coming out, $1,500. That thing apparently has some nifty features, Mail, where it tracks like your whole face. Like it tracks your eyebrows, your like when you're blinking, the avatar will blink. When you move your mouth, when you twitch your nose, like it tracks everything on your face. Like it's supposed to be really good at tracking like all your facial expressions that you're making while you're using it. That's like a big feature of it, apparently. Mm-hmm. Anyways, in other news, Netflix has been in the video game business for about a year now, Mayo. All right, Netflix is gaming. They're doubling.
They're continuing to double down. I see.
Says here, with their third quarter financial results, they revealed this Tuesday. Currently, they have 35 games on their gaming service on Netflix Gaming, and they have 55 more in development. They will also include more games based on their own IPs. Currently, it has games based on Stranger Things, and as well as Nailed It with Baking Bash. It also has Exploding Kittens, and they're developing games for all that as well. And yeah, so With 55 more games in development, including more games based on Netflix IP, we're focused in the next few years on creating hit games that will take our game initiative to the next level. More generally, we see a big opportunity around content that crosses between TV or film and games. So there's that. I mean, pretty much, I hear Netflix is actually doing pretty good now. They were losing a lot of subscribers before. Apparently now they're gaining them all back. I don't know if it's because maybe they're releasing new series or like better series or something. I don't know. I canceled my Netflix after, I think last month. I was like, I'm done with this shit. I don't need to watch.
I still have mine. I still had like the what is it, like that premium one where you get like the ultra high def 4K stuff? Because I had that, that OLED, so it looks really good with the Dolby Vision. So, but I don't watch like a ton of TV on there. But my kids do, so
I watch Cobra Kai. I watch Cobra Kai and like I was done with that. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. I heard that new Dahmer show is pretty good, but
yeah, my kids have watched that. They were
just
like
pretty gnarly. Anyways,
we'll give Netflix though. Jesus is my son had me actually start watching an anime, and I'm not normally an anime person, but he's like, get into this one. So I started watching. It's called Demon Slayer, and I kind of like the idea of it. And so I ended up watching the first season. It's on Netflix. Well, the second season is actually on Hulu. And Netflix kind of spoiled me when, as each episode ends, you can when the new episode starts, you can skip the intro and all that.
Yeah.
Hulu doesn't allow that, so it kind of spoiled me, because Netflix would be like, skip the intro, and I'll get right into the story. My Hulu, I still have ads on my Hulu as well, but I have to go through all these ads, and then it's like I get the intro, then I get more ads, and I'm like, gosh dang it, it's like 15 minutes into it, and I'm getting to the main plot, But Netflix kind of spoiled me there. I will give them that.
My daughter watched that anime. She said it was pretty good.
Demon Slayer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was about this boy who he leaves his house, his family for a minute. He goes to town. And he comes back. This demon killed his whole family, and his sister is attacked by this demon, and she was bit. And basically, if you get bit, it's like a zombie. They become a demon. But there's something special about her where it's like she can control herself where she doesn't attack humans. And so he vows revenge, and he goes out and gets taught and trained to kill demons, to become a demon killer. But he keeps his sister with him. So he's vowed to kill the demons even though his sister's a demon. And she can't be out in sunlight. So he puts her in she's in a wood crate, and he carries her on his back. And so he's going through the world with his sister on his back in this crate. And she can only basically kind of come out at night, but he hunts down different demons, and he comes across different demons that have higher powers, and there's this special 12 demons that are closer to the main boss demon, and you're trying to find out who he is, and it's kind of neat. So you got basically these 12 super badass demons that are way better than everybody else, and then you have these guys that are killers of demons. They hunt them down. And they have, I think they're called the Hashra. There's these Hashra, these upper level fighters. So they have those characters, and he's learning from these guys. And they all have different abilities. And it was actually kind of interesting to me. So I watched through the whole first season and the second story arc, and now I'm getting ready to do the third story arc. And I guess it's actually one of Japan's most popular. They made a movie, and it's basically the second season, first arc, story arc, and it was one of their all-time #1 grossing movie, I think.
Wow.
I was like, holy cow.
All right, we have to check it out. So you said only the second season's on Hulu? Because I have Hulu, but...
Yeah, no, I think this first season's on there as well. But on Netflix, you only have the very first season. But I liked it. And on Hulu, it does it kind of weird too. So it lists every episode twice. So it says dubbed version and Japanese, where Netflix just lets you change it in the subtitle options, But this will say so it looks bigger than it is. The first season is 26 episodes. They're half hour, I think.
But they'll have 50 on there.
Yeah, so don't really oh holy shit, 50 episodes right away. It's literally because there's 2 episodes of every.
The one anime that I watched the shit out of was Attack on Titan, and I finished all the seasons now. I'm waiting for apparently the last season comes out next year. That show's really good too, Mayo. Attack on Titan is pretty dope.
But yeah,
it's cool. It's kind of hard to get into at first, but once you're into it, it's fucking cool as shit. I like.
Yeah, and it's kind of sword play type stuff. So my son and I were in Myrtle Beach actually. They had some shops there, and they had swords and stuff, and they actually had replicas of the swords from this show. and I bought him a replica of one of the characters, and so he's got this replica sword from one of the characters
That's
as well.
sick.
So it's pretty cool.
Another news, Netflix announced their new ad tier service. This is going to cost, apparently they said, I think it was like
$6 or $7, yeah. Probably $7 after tax, probably.
$6.99 a month. And it will let you use one screen at a time while you're using it. So if you're logged in, you can use multiple screens at a time. Only one at a time. And they said that there will be an average of 5 minutes of ads per hour that will play before, during films, before and during the films and series. They will also only have lower video quality than the standard and premium plans. So I'm assuming it's like 720p or whatever.
Probably.
Also, if you have the basic with ads subscriber, you will not be able to download shows and movies on your device for offline viewing. And also, some of the stuff on Netflix's catalog will not be available to you. So if you sign up for this ad plan, they say about 10,
kind of rough.
They say about 10% of their catalog content will not be available to those users because they don't have the rights to show those programs with commercials.
Weird. Like, that's kind of weird. That would be kind of rough because they say, Jesus, like, you got rid of your Netflix and be like, okay, I want to get Netflix to watch such and such series.
Yeah.
And then you pay for a month, and then you're like, it's not even on there. You know what I mean? If you got the cheaper one, you'd be like, damn it, how are you going to check?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's weird. They said that the people who sign up for this ad tier will also have to provide their date of birth and your gender, as Netflix plans to target the ads for the users. And while this will be less expensive than competitors' ad plans, like I think Hulu is like $9 a month with ads or whatever, it says here that Disney Plus and Hulu ads planned will be both $7.99 per month when Disney Plus ad tiers launches in December, while you can add Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max with ads. Or actually, HBO Max is going to have an ad version themselves for $9.99 a month.
I don't know.
Hulu has an ad plan right now. Theirs is like $8 a month for just Hulu, but they plan to add the Disney Plus and Hulu. Oh, Disney Plus is going to have an ad tier for $8 a month, and HBO Max is also going to have an ad tier for $10 a month. I don't know. I could not watch. I hate ads. I fucking hate them. I hate having to sit there and wait for this shit to because you can't skip them.
Yeah,
and then like the problem with Hulu, dude. Hulu, the worst thing is Hulu, man, because they show the same fucking ad.
Yeah.
The whole time, like it'll be like, oh, do you like it'll ask you in the beginning, do you like cars or do you like food? I like cars. Okay. Next thing you know, it's like, this new Toyota RAV4, drive with blah, blah, blah. Then it shows a Toyota RAV4. There's a stupid RAV4 commercial. And then you go, okay, you watch the show. Ad break. Up. Toyota RAV4. Same fucking commercial. You're like, what the fuck? The same fucking one? And it'll show you the same commercial like 4 times. It's like, bro, you guys really want me to buy this Toyota RAV4? Don't you?
How effective is it after a while? Because you're just like, screw this commercial. You know? I mean, I don't even know what Hulu I even have in all honesty. Like when my Hulu like a long time ago got bundled with Spotify. I paid for Spotify and they bundled Hulu with it at one point in time, and I've just never like bothered to like buy Hulu. So like but I get like a 2-minute ad when I open some of the animes now. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? 2 minutes, really? Like, and you said, it's the same ones. It's like it'd be like 3 ads or 2 ads that are like a minute long, and it's the same ones. I've been getting one for the new Mustang actually, which is cool because that's a nice car. But I'm tired of seeing it. You know, I'm like, all right, I'm already tired of seeing this stupid ad. You know, like because I've been watching this anime. You know, it's like you kind of like sometimes with me, I sit down and will binge watch a couple episodes. You know. And so I see that same ad, like you said, like 7 times in one sitting watching the show, and I'm just like, oh, I'm done with it. Like, go away, kind of thing.
No way, dude. I couldn't do it, man.
I just don't see it. To me, it seems a little weird, like you said, like with the Netflix showing like a limited library and all that stuff. I don't know if like me right away, it'd be a no for me. I mean,
No way. Like I couldn't do it either. I would just might as well just get like the $15 a month thing, or like.
I mean, I understand like
another
if
thing
you're
you could do is
budget friendly and stuff, but I mean,
split the cost with somebody. Like, hey, Mayo, let me use your Netflix and I'll pay half of it.
Right.
You know, like, oh, now you're paying $10 a month instead of the 20, and you're getting a free ad experience.
I mean, we already. I know they don't want us doing that stuff, but we already know like a lot of the country's doing that already. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many people have whatever sign-ons that I have or whatever. You know what I mean? I know all my kids do. You know, all my kids are. You know, they're not here with me. My daughter's off in college. She has every one of my account sign-ons. She has my Netflix. She has my Hulu. She's got my Vudu. I mean, she's got my Amazon. You know, like it's all shared. She's on my Spotify account. You know, like because all my kids. I'm not paying for all their own accounts, and they're not. You know, they can't afford to pay for their stuff all the time either. So. You know, because they're young and starting out, so they just sharing all that stuff.
Yeah, I like I said, I canceled my Netflix, and I'll get it probably again, and I don't know, whenever the new Cobra Kai season comes out or whatever the fuck I want to watch something, you know. I thought about getting it for that Dahmer show, but I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll just wait.
I might watch it. I might know somebody that might be able to help you out, Jesus.
Oh, okay. Another news, last piece of news that I have for you, Mayo, for all your PS5 users out there. PS5 Pro dev kits have been spotted in the wild.
Oh, nice.
They've been making their way to studios. Says here the upgraded PS5 is not to be confused with the recently leaked PS5 featuring a detachable disk drive. That PS5 apparently will feature the same specs as the current console, and that one has been rumored since as early as 2021. Earlier this year, AMD sparked speculations by mentioning the development of a next-gen console chip nearly 2 years into the current cycle. This was followed by a presentation delivered by television manufacturer TCL, in which the company said that it expected the PS5 Pro and Xbox Series X upgrades to be released in 2023 and 2024. So there's that. I mean, there's no other rumors about what's in it or what's going on. It's just that apparently the dev kits have already gone out to some studios.
You know, it's kind of funny. So I guess it's really impacted me. Something from you, Jesus. You introduced me to a podcast one time, and it was called the Darknet Diaries about the breaking into the Xbox thing.
Oh yeah, the Xbox headquarters.
Every time I hear dev kits, because remember they got a hold of old motherboards, like they were in the trash, and they were dev kits, and they had all this password information. And every time I hear the word dev kit now, I think about that. Like that was such a good like little podcast series, a story about that.
People listening to this show, go listen to the Darknet Diaries. They got a really cool like, I want to say it's like 4 episodes long maybe, where they talk to these guys that legit like
I think it was
went
like
into
2 episodes, but they were like an hour long each, so it was like 2 hours.
These guys legit went into Microsoft with like fake badges and shit.
Stole an
legit,
Xbox,
just walked into the Microsoft headquarters with like a fake Microsoft badge on. Walked right past security, right past everyone working. Walked into the Microsoft building and like stole an Xbox 360 when they were making them, like developing them.
Was it a 360 or was it a 1?
No, or was it the Xbox? One of the two. Was the Xbox One or the 360?
Yeah,
I don't remember. But they just fucking walked in and took it. They just like walked in, fucking grabbed it and put it in a backpack and took it home. And like they had a fucking like a unlocked fucking Xbox 360. Like this thing had like nothing on it. Like it was just the 360 dev kit. They could do whatever they wanted with it, and that's how
and they started getting into other accounts and
these guys were the ones that they were the ones that stole they sold the JTAG Xbox because they learned how to JTAG the Xbox. They were like, oh, we know how to do it now. So they were the ones that were making all these JTAG'd Xbox. Was them. They were the ones who invented that shit. And they were like, yeah, dude, we were making lots of money just selling these JTAG Xbox that people can hack and like fucking do whatever they wanted with it.
Remember in the story too, the one that they had stolen was they put it on eBay or somebody put it on eBay. Yeah. And that's when they figured out like what the hell, like how is our prototype console on eBay for sale? You know, like
yeah,
Could you imagine just the look of Microsoft Space and stuff, like when somebody sees this thing on eBay,
legit,
like everything is
hacked
right.
into Epic, stole everything from Epic. They legit had like all these shit. Like it's nuts.
Did a double take? They're like, oh, that shit can't be right. And then the more they look at it, they're like, oh, that looks right. That looks right. Wait a minute, that looks what the hell? How in the hell did this happen? You know, like
how the fuck do they have our 360 on the fucking eBay site?
And then
that's insane.
And then
and it's crazy because these guys just did it. They were just
and everything. Yeah,
they were just like
kids.
Fucking what? Like kids. People. They were like in their They were teenagers, right? They just walked into. It's like we just make fake badges, and like they're like, as long as you walk in and you act like you know what you're doing, no one stops and asks you a question. You just gotta walk in acting like you work there.
I'm trying to remember because I listened to it so long ago. It was like one kid that his mom's boyfriend was working for Microsoft and he stole his badge and had a way of copying the badge, and he just used it and went in there and I think he said he was there for like 6 months. And then he was like getting information, and he stole the Xbox, and they were trying to figure out who did it, and then going on and on. They ended up catching him because he got a job there, even like he ended up getting a job from Microsoft, and then they realized, hey,
holy shit,
it's this dude, But,
like that is insane to me. Like he said, he literally walked around the campus for 6 months, and like he ate at their cafeteria for free, and like
just hanging out, hey,
just hanging out with them. And people thought he legit made like coworker friends there. Like people thought, oh, this guy works here. Like he works in the fucking engineering department.
Could you imagine you're at work, a guy you talk to every day, all of a sudden be like, dude, I don't even work here. I just walk in here every day.
I just walk in here and walk around and steal information all day long.
Right?
That is insane, dude. Like that's such a security risk. Like that means that like Google could have sent people in there, or like Sony could have sent people in that motherfucker to just steal ideas. That is beyond crazy to me. But yeah, like apparently that happened, and it's a cool story because these guys actually went through. I think one of them went to jail, right? Did he go to jail or something?
Yeah.
He got
it's
sued.
A whole story, it's a whole bunch of people, but I think it's called Xbox Underground as the episodes. I can't remember what number they are, but it's called Darknet Diaries, the series. There's a whole bunch of other stuff on there too, but like these ones covered Xbox specifically.
Did you ever listen to the one about the guy who would like his job was to like go? His job is legit. He gets paid by like banks around the world. He gets hired by like the main CEO of the bank, and no one else in the bank knows that he does this. So he'll get hired by like a CEO of like, I don't know, whatever bank, right? And his job is to fly to that country, go to that bank and act like he works there and be able to steal all their information from the bank.
Wow.
And that's his job. That's his job. He's like, my job is to break into banks, steal all their money and try to get out without getting caught. And then my job is to then go back to the CEO and show him, hey, this is where you're vulnerable. Like, you don't have this lockdown, or you don't have security in this location, or you don't have, like, people asking for badges here, or, like, no one stopped me and asked me for my badge when I was going to walk into the vault here. And, like, that shit was crazy because that guy legit said, like, yeah, he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I'd go to, like, Budapest or whatever and, like, walk into this main bank in the country. And, like, my job is to go in there and I'll hack the computers, and now I have access to everyone's bank account. Like, everyone. He's like, I could transfer all this money in like 10 seconds if I want to anything in the world. Like, I could transfer it to like Switzerland, anywhere. Like, I could just, all this money's gone. And he's like, I could just do that. And that's his job. He said one time he got like arrested by the cops, like legit arrested. And he's like, I cannot break my cover. He's like, I cannot tell them that I'm working for the bank. Like, they legit arrest me. Wow. And I go to jail, and like he has to like until like the CEO goes in there and tells him like, no, this guy works for me, like this motherfucker can't break his cover, dude. Like, that's his job. I'm like, that is a crazy job to have, dude. It's like those people that, I don't know if you ever heard of the people that like go to prisons and their job is to see if they can break out of the prison.
No, I haven't heard.
Like, that's their fucking job. Like, their job is to go into a prison, act like a real prisoner, and you see who you could break out. They go to like these max security prisons or whatever, and their job is to like break out. The people that do this type of work, man, I was like, that's crazy as fuck. How do you even get into that line of work?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna break into banks for a living and be like a fucking Mission Impossible movie and just break into banks the whole time and see how much money I can get out of these fuckers. That is crazy. But yeah, that's what that guy does. He hacks banks. He'll like, go into them and like stick USB drives into the computers and like just hack him, dude. Just fucking get information from the fucking tellers and stuff. And he says it's surprisingly easy. Like how many times he's like, you could just fool people by acting like you know what you're doing. All you gotta do is walk in there and say, "Oh, I work for IT department, and corporate send me here to fucking whatever to like update your computer systems or whatever." And he'll walk in, and the fucking managers will walk him to the computer station, the server, and they'll just let him in. Like, all right, bro, get in there. You stay in here all day. They'll even give him a badge to like be able to open the doors and shit. Like, he's like, no one will ask you questions if you just act like you know what you're doing.
Right.
I'm like, that is fucking crazy. Yeah. I just think about like how many times people do that shit at like Walmarts and shit. You ever hear about that guy who went to that Walmart and he was dressed as the armored security guy, like the armor car guys that come pick up the money? And he legit like he watched them, right? Like what time they show up every Sunday or whatever. And he beat them to it. Like he showed up like 10 minutes before they do. Walked into the Walmart, dressed like a fucking armored security car guy, walked up to the manager, said, "Hey, I'm here to pick up the deposits." They legit walked him to the safe or whatever. He grabbed the money bags, put them on the little cart, walked out, put it in the trunk of his car and drove off with like, they said he drove off with like $250,000, dude.
Wow.
And he just legit just like walked in. No one asked him in. They didn't ask him for paperwork, nothing. He said, "No, you just walk in. You act like you know what you're doing. You're here to pick up." It's routine. They know what, to them it's routine. They see you every Sunday or whatever, like.
Maybe a different person, but you're just used to that guy showing up at that time. But you're like, oh, that guy's on vacation or something, and just a new guy.
Just walk in.
Wow.
Still $250,000 from Walmart doing that shit. I was like, damn. I was like, I bet they changed their policy on that real quick after that happened. Like, no, motherfucker, show us some paperwork, some badge. Make sure the armored truck's actually parked outside.
I need a blood sample. I need
Give me your fingerprint, motherfucker. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, we're done with the news here, people. Do you have any questions? I don't think we do we?
We do have a couple from Brian. He did, I think it was from maybe last week, so we didn't get to the show. But it's a lot of Ohio questions for me. Just Brian Telp Jr. wants to know. He says his wife thinks the trees in Indiana look better than the trees in Ohio. Does anybody agree? And most of the people probably listening are like, I've probably never been to either one of those states, so I probably don't care. But I mean, they're like the same. Come on, I mean, it's like the same. It's like the same trees in Indiana, the same trees are in Ohio. It just depends on
Ohio trees.
No, I'm gonna be biased.
Ohio's
gotta be better. I'm telling you.
Looking at Google Images, Ohio trees look a little bit better.
Yeah, they're probably a little better. You know why?
What?
They're corn-fed. Okay.
Okay, Bill.
Brian also wants to know. He says this is actually a news article I actually heard here. So I know this is a legit article. It says, why are people from Columbus? Why do they have the most potty mouths? So there's a news article that popped up the other day. I guess some survey saying that basically the people in Columbus, Ohio, have like the worst mouth on them, and I don't know. Wow. That's kind of interesting. I don't know how they do that study. They just pay somebody that walks around and listens to conversations, or what? Like I don't understand how you do a study like that. But okay. I mean, I guess it's the poor people stuck in Ohio. It's probably Evan. Evan's just walking around. Evan's walking around in circles, cussing Ohio, and that's why he probably added 10% to this negativity score. That's what it is.
Shit.
It's not because he wants to leave. It's because his hurt foot. So every time he kind of bangs his foot, he cusses a little more. That's what I'm going with.
Let's hear that.
Because he wouldn't want to leave Ohio.
Second. Yeah, Las Vegas came in second, and Jacksonville came in third. It says here, out of the cities that swear the least, Mayo, Portland, Oregon came in at number 2.
Yeah, good job, Jesus.
We swear the least. Yeah, fucking right. They haven't heard me,
Right, I say
honestly.
you swear way more than I do.
Yeah.
But you know what I want to see? I want to see an international one. I want to see where Canada ranks.
Probably like the lowest country
Right.
in the world is Canada. They're the friendliest.
Right.
Oh, hey, guy. Oh, so, what country apologizes the most?
Right. Oh, man. Brian.
Oh, sorry.
Brian, yeah, there you go. Brian also wants to know. He goes, okay, I was given this. Could you tell me what game it is? He goes, it's a game for the Switch, Jesus, with that character. And he says, like I know games, but there's no way I'm going to know what that game is, right? So, yeah, Jesus, it's a game on a Switch with a character. Can you get it? Do you know which character it is or which game it is?
A game for the Switch with
a character.
Well, that one, I think so.
There's a few. I mean,
yeah, we could narrow it down. It has a character. That's a big giving tell there. I mean, yeah, there's a few games with the character. Which character?
Right.
This is how Gunny describes games.
Yeah,
there's that one
is.
game, guys.
You know,
that one game that has the cars. You know, you drive.
there's a road. There's a road, and
Gunny's the worst at that shit. Gunny would be like, "Yeah, guys, you guys remember that one game that had the shooting?"
oh yeah, I do, Jesus. I remember that game.
That one game that had the guns. You know, you were shooting things, and it had the guy. It's like, what are you talking about, Gunny? He's like, yeah, it was on the 360. Like, what the fuck? Gunny's the worst at that shit, dude.
Oh yes. Brian also wants all these Brian questions. Thanks for Brian. He had a birthday this week too, so happy birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, Brian. He's like 60 years old now, I think.
Oh yeah. You think?
Maybe. I don't know how old he is.
You don't look that old. But he says he wants to get an early look at the pumpkin song. He's determined we're going to make a pumpkin song over here. I don't have anything yet. I don't think you want to hear me singing, so we'll see. We'll see if we can come up with something yet. I've been looking. They do have the Pumpkin Fest going on today, Jesus. And actually, today is the first day for it. I am sadly not going to be able to make it this year, though. I wanted to go. I ended up having some plans this weekend, so I'm taking a road trip out of the state. So I am not going to be able to go to the pumpkin show this year. So maybe Evan go down there. I'll send him down there to recon. Be like, Evan, go down to the pumpkin show. Since he loves Ohio, he's probably already there. He's probably not even working today. He probably skipped work to go down to the pumpkin show, if I had to guess. Known Evan. But then I got 2 more questions for Brian. He says Brian wants to know what's the most, Jesus, that you have paid for tickets to an event. He said that he's old and maybe he is 60, Jesus. He said he is old. Then he refuses to pay over $100 for a ticket. So,
Damn.
I don't blame him. $100 for a ticket can be, I mean, I can't remember what probably would have been the most expensive ticket I probably bought. I mean, I have paid over $100. I do know that. I have gone to some basketball game, like professional, like Cavaliers basketball game when LeBron was in Cleveland. I want to say that was like 110 or 120 a ticket. Ohio State football games here can be kind of pricey. Like they're like sometimes around $100 some, $200 a ticket. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was when I went to go see Dave Chappelle, man. That ticket cost me like $375.
Wow.
Roughly. I mean, but I was like right there on the floor, dude. Like, I was like maybe 4 rows from the stage, like right there.
You could have walked up and slapped him.
Well, legit, he walked right next to me when he was walking to the stage. That the path that he took to walk up to the stage was like right next to me. He legit walked like, I don't know, 2 feet away from me. He's pretty short too. Like, I didn't realize he was that short in real life.
Did you regret it, or did you think it was worth it?
No, it was fun as fuck. I had a great time. I mean, it was cool. that they were fucking with us, you know, the people that were sitting in the front, like, they were making jokes of all the people sitting there, like, oh, you fucking dummies, you fucking bought these tickets for what? And I remember in Vegas, when I went to Vegas a few years ago, I bought some Cirque du Soleil tickets or whatever for those shows. I went to 2 of them. And I want to say the first one was like 120 something, and the next one was like 150. But like those shows were cool as fuck, dude. Like they were cool as fuck. Like I wasn't even sitting in the front, and I had a fucking blast, dude. There was one that we went to in the, I believe it was the Luxor. Pretty sure it was at the Luxor, and that show was cool, man. They got like in the beginning, dude. They had like everyone was in character already. All the people that were ushering you in, they were all in character and shit. So they're all speaking weird and shit. You're like, what the fuck? And then like the show started, bro, and like there was like speakers on the back of your head, like your seat. So like you had like these like weird like sounds coming out of the back of your head. And then they got motherfuckers like on ropes and shit, like swinging around the fucking air with like banging drums and shit, dude. And like I felt like I was in Horizon Zero Dawn or something, man. That shit was like, what the fuck? Where am I right now? It was cool as fuck. That was a really memorable experience. Will I do it again? Maybe. Not for the same show exactly, but I'd maybe go to a different Cirque du Soleil show. But they were really cool, man. Like, if you ever go to Vegas, catch one of those shows, because those production values on those shows are really high, and they're really cool, and the acrobatics those motherfuckers pull off are insane. Like this one dude, it was 2 of them, I think. They were like on this fucking wheel thing. You know, like that thing that has like 2 wheels on it, and like they walk on the wheel, and then they get on the top of the wheel, and they're like spinning around, and the wheels are going, and they're walking on those, and they're doing backflips, and they're jump roping on them and shit. They were doing that shit, dude. I was like, holy fuck. And then I remember like a year later, one of those guys died. Like he fell off of it or something. They said like he had an accident where like on stage, like he was doing it and he fell off of it and he fucking broke his neck or something and died on stage. I was like, whoa. Like, that shit's wild. Because, yeah, they don't have any, like, those guys that do that shit, a lot of times they don't have any harnesses on or nothing. They're up there just using their balance and shit, you know, and they're, like, jump roping and doing whatever the fuck they're doing on those wheel things, and they're just going really fucking fast, dude. And that, like, takes a lot of skills. Remember when I was growing up in Vegas, my parents, my mom, and my dad, they used to work for this guy. And before there were Cirque du Soleil, there were, like, called other things or whatever. The shows were still there, but they were called like something else. And one of the guys that they used to work for, my parents used to work for them. My dad used to work at their house, like as their main landscaper guy, like their groundskeeper. And my mom used to work as their like house cleaning person. And she would also clean their offices, like where they did the show production and the practicing. And I would go there, man, and like it was cool seeing all the shit they had, because they had like a whole costume, like a fucking like a place where they make their costumes inside the office. Like, so they would have, like, that place was creepy, man, because my mom would be like, all right, I need you to go in there and help me vacuum that fucking back office. And, dude, going in there, it was all pitch black. Everything's dark, and you got all these costumes and mannequins everywhere. And, like, as a fucking kid, I used to be so scared to go in there and be like, fuck that shit. I don't want to go in there. She'd be like, come on, just fucking go in there and clean, you know, like, help me get this done. And I'm like, fuck, dude, like, okay, I guess I'd go in there, dude. It'd be like some weird mannequins and shit with all these fucking outfits on and like
right.
these weird fucking masks on and shit. It's like, what the fuck? And like they had like a big ass area where they did all their acrobatics and they're practicing, and they had like some pretty cool props in there. They had like the little sticks and the fucking like all these ropes and shit they would climb on. Those guys are pretty talented, man. I don't know like what they do to get to that job, but it must not be easy, dude. You got to be fit as fuck to be doing that shit, because these motherfuckers are climbing up those ropes and swinging around and shit, and they're doing a lot of crazy shit. But I heard they make pretty good money, the guys who do that show. Yeah, they're pretty well paid apparently. But those shows, I mean, they're not cheap. Like I said, I was like not even in the front row, man, and my tickets were still like 100 and something. So can you imagine the front row is probably like near $200 for a ticket, you know? But it's worth it, I guess, to go experience once.
Yeah.
I probably won't do it again, though. And the Dave Chappelle thing, I probably won't ever see him again in person. And next time, if I ever go to like a comedy guy that's that big, I probably won't buy those front row seats. Because, I mean, it was cool seeing him that close and being right there, but like, at the end of the day, I would have heard the same joke sitting in the back.
Yeah, like you know, I say it's the same experience no matter where you're at, really. Except you're closer to them.
Yeah, but that was the main difference, you know. Like, I guess I could sit in the front or sit in the back. It really doesn't make a difference.
Well, I guess you could be like on the front. You'd be like, "Oh, I heard him better," you know, instead of back. What did you say?
Well,
No,
not really. I mean,
yeah, I know that's how you get a microphone and
they're
everything.
on the mic or whatever, so it's like whatever. But I mean, it was cool. It was a cool experience, man. You know, seeing Dave Chappelle growing up, it was like my guy, man. That guy is funny as fuck.
Nice. One last question from Brian Jesus, and I really don't have an answer for this one. He says, "What's the craziest road sign that you've seen?" I can't really. I don't know. Like I've seen road signs, but I don't remember like anything.
What does it mean, like the flashing, like the construction ones, like saying weird shit or what? Like,
I think he's more like advertisement kind of sign. He said he's seen like a church sign on a back road in Indiana, probably like advertising like a church or something like that. But like just like a random weird sign or something like that. I don't know. I've seen like stuff online, you know, like some joke type ones that like where one company will have like their logo and another one will have their sign above theirs and they'll make fun of the other one or something, you know. I've seen those. Those would probably be the craziest ones I've ever seen. But I've never really, I don't remember seeing them in person or nothing really, so nothing really jumps out. But I do remember seeing some online where like, you know, or, and I don't know if they're Photoshop. You ever seen the ones that they seem like they kind of work together? Like both signs combine to say something inappropriate or something, you know? But I don't know. That's probably some Photoshop work. But yeah, so I don't know. I haven't really noticed anything or remember anything in person.
yeah, I can think of one. You know, I see a lot of signs, but I don't get anything weird or anything crazy. I mean, some of them are kind of funny sometimes, but that's rare.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I saw one the other day. Like it was an Arby's and it was making fun of McDonald's.
Yeah, right.
It was making fun of their McRib or something like that. It was like, what the
I did
fuck?
see that. And they had that here at our Arby's as well. I can't remember how they worded it, but basically like saying it's like a real rib or something like that. Or
yeah, not the fake shit from like McDonald's.
Yeah, and it was, they called out McDonald's specifically. It was like, or they maybe called out the McRib. It was like the real McRib, or we use real pork, or it was like, you know, I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
We use real ribs or something like that. Some weird
the real
shit.
ribs.
I saw that. I kind of laughed when I saw it. I was like, damn, that's pretty fucked up. That must have been something that they came up for like a national thing apparently. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, other than that, like I don't ever think of like seeing weird signs like an actual like or like a street sign that's weird. Not really, no.
Yeah, there used to be a shop of like a privately owned like shop, like almost like a repair shop, not like a car shop or like just like some kind of repair shop of some form, and he would take popular slogans off the internet and put them out there on his sign out front, and it would just be fun to go by and read whatever randomness, and some of them would be just really funny, and I don't have any examples anymore because I haven't been out that way in a while, but it'd just be like these random signs, you know, like this random quote, and you'd be like, oh, that's actually kind of funny or ironic or something like that, but it's been a while since I've seen those.
Nice.
But that's it. Jesus, that's pretty much all the questions we got.
All right, well, that's all we have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. We're out of here. Find Gunny on everything that's Gunny Chief. Find me on everything that's Jesus Walks Out. Where can people find you, Mayo?
Discord and everywhere is pretty much just the Mayo one.
And I want to be playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, so don't bother me for the next 3 days.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's all I'm going to be playing. I mean, really, like I'm going to be playing that campaign. Because I heard if you beat the campaign, you get like some kind of weapon skin or something. That's what I heard, maybe.
Nice.
We'll see. Dude, that game, I'm going to be playing so much of that game. Like, Mayo, I'm sorry, for the next year, for the next 6 months, it's going to be nothing but Call of Duty. Call of Duty and Call of Duty, man.
Well, Evan told me he
Oh,
said
that's it.
he's tired of hearing your Battlefield talk, so he's gonna be happy you're playing Call of Duty. He's like, oh, finally something I like.
Evan went hard last time with
Call of Duty.
The platinum guns or whatever. Yeah, he got everything. I thought I fucking was doing.
Yeah, I heard
good
that wasn't easy.
Like,
I heard that wasn't an easy task.
No, it wasn't. I got like a few guns planned. This motherfucker got like literally everything, the riot shield, everything planned. I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? He must have literally been playing.
Didn't he get like a bunch of Damascus weapons as well, or something like that? Isn't that the next level?
Yeah.
And then Obsidian is like after that,
Yeah.
but yeah, crazy.
Yeah, because you get Damascus is after you get platinum, but you have to get platinum on everything to get Damascus. Yeah. So I'm talking, he got platinum on like his rocket launchers.
Is there a knife or something like that too?
Yeah, his fucking throwing knife or his knife, he got platinum on that. He got platinum on the riot. Like, there's no way. How the fuck you get platinum on a riot shield, dude? You'd have to get so many kills with the riot shield. That's insane. Like, I don't know how he did it. That dude he must be a beast at Call of Duty. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm just saying, we playing the fuck out of Call of Duty, and Brink's gonna be on it. I'm gonna be on it. Iams is definitely playing.
I'm
it.
sure.
I probably will never play with. I'm sure I'll never play with Iams because that fucker never plays with it. Literally the other day, right? Me and Brink get on Battlefield, right? I'm playing Battlefield. I see Brink comes online. I'm like, yo, Brink, get on Discord. He gets on Discord. I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to send you an invite right now. Okay, we back out to the main lobby. I invite Brink. He joins my party. I'm like, oh, look who's online. Iams is online, and he's playing Battlefield Conquest or whatever. And both me and Brink, literally at that moment, we're like, all right, bro, let's invite Iams, let's get a 3-man squad up in here, like the crew, Be nice, getting the crew back, a little bit of battlefielding. I shit you not, as soon as we both backed into the main menu, got into a party and invited him, it says, Iams is now offline.
Oh, man.
Literally, I'm like, you fucking dick. Even Brink was like, no fucking way, dude. Literally, as soon as we sent the invite, dude. As soon as we sent it, he got offline. We're like, what a dick.
He's like, I ain't got time for this Jesus and Brink guy anymore. He's like, come on.
Yeah, he's like, fuck these guys. I'm not going to play with them. Fuck them. And yeah, it was pretty bad. Anyways. Go watch Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. That show's dope, man. You watch Game of Thrones, the original one?
No, I did not. My hair's pretty good.
You should watch that one. Watch it. It's freaking good.
Nice.
It's good. The new show's good. And I'm out of here. We're out of here. Peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers Podcast. Hopefully it's the next week one.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to try. Can't promise you anything at this point, but we will try. All right? Anyways, we're out of here. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.